stable about it. Not a single person in this room is stable.
That is fair.
Good there. I'm just making sure all my windows are where I need them. Good there.
Can I just say one thing real quick?
Yeah. You're
I,
out.
I've been running a lot of games online, in person and stuff. The most important thing is to just like keep it moving. Don't get too hung up on the rules. We're kind of like creating this scene together, especially with a system like this where it's theater of the mind and you don't have a grid and minis and stuff like that. The best thing you can do is just kind of like keep that scene in your mind and like how you're interacting with it. If you pull your head out to like focus on the rules and like, oh, what's the, that can really like pull you out of it and then like slow it down.
Don't let the mechanics interfere with the immersion.
Yeah, just roll with it, have a good time, and it'll be great. Like there's no wrong way to do it. That's the best part. It's just do it. Just have fun, and it's gonna be
That's
awesome.
the complete and utter noob. I will do my best.
I'm really glad I got to hit record before Terry gave the Dad Terry speech. All right, kids, just make sure you have a good time. It doesn't matter how you play the game; it just matters that you're having fun.
Listen, I'm not mad that you didn't know that rule. I'm just disappointed.
Right.
Yeah,
That'll be
so
next
it's funny,
week.
when I
That'll
was
be
filling
next
out my
week.
character sheet, I discovered that when you make an unarmed attack, you have disorient and knockdown at your disposal, just by making an unarmed attack. And I did not know that rule, and I have never given anyone that. So, uh, yeah.
All right. Let's see. We.
So I just went live as well. So bear with me. I'm going to get my alerts out, and then I will be like I'm here, so we can still talk and BS, and then we'll be getting started here in about 5 minutes.
Will you drop the link somewhere so I can pull that up on one of my screens here?
Yeah.
And
I'll throw it in the. I'll throw both mine and Chow's in the.
I'm gonna run credits in 3 minutes. And that's 2 minutes long, and then I'm good to go.
Yep. Are you live, Kirby, or no?
No, not this week.
Okay.
I will get with you,
It's
Kirby,
just-
if you need any assistance getting set up for next week
That's not
or
it.
next
What's
time.
it's-
Just not in the next couple of days because I have to get ready for the quiz show. I have done
Infinite Power Media, that's all.
absolutely.
What am I doing wrong?
Yeah, it's Infinite Power Media.
I'm trying to add this effect to him saying G Unit. I already have it completely clipped down, or like stripped down in Audacity.
Have we just been quietly working over there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's Scott's version of the how do you want to do this. It's like walk off music from like different baseball characters. It's like, whoever gets the death shot, like their theme song plays in the background and everybody dances.
That's amazing. I
All right,
love
if
that.
you want to follow along, both Twitch links are in the campaign discussion room. Post this. If you happen to be my Facebook fan and friend and you would like to share this shit, I would not be sad about it.
I will actually because I'm being lazy and not posting.
That one. Like every week they change how I get to change to my account versus my brand account. It's ridiculous.
Definitely need ambient music. Soundtrack's gonna be high on my to-do list.
New stream food is nice.
I thought you were gonna like start up some Enter the Gladiators for us.
You walk into a cantina, Duke.
I tell you, I got hit for DMCA on Enter the fucking Gladiators on my Among Us thing that I did.
Oh no, you.
Yeah, I definitely got.
Really?
Yeah, I got hit DMCA, and it's not even like it was like the oldest version I could find. I'm like, it's got to have lapsed, right? No.
They're like, I need you to stop. No.
Let me send you a picture of the one that I got, Joe. Hold on.
Oh, is it from Warner?
No, they don't fuck with me anymore. They're still going through 6 months ago streams, sending me going, "Hey, you played this," and I'm like, "Fuck off," and they're like, "Okay." I've yet to lose one of those. Like I've gotten hit with like 6 or 7 of them.
There you go.
What it is.
Yeah, those DMCA strikes.
Goldie, thank you for the sub, my dude.
Well, Facebook already said we'd never lose partnership over them, so I was just like, bet. So every time I get one, I'm just like, yo, fuck off, I'm playing the music. And they're like, oh, well, nobody's told us to do that yet. And I'm like, cool. So here I am.
Did
It's
you
me.
did you also do Twitter, Scott?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
on. I did Twitter. I did your server, your Discord, Sugar's Discord, Kirby's, Gilded, my Gilded, Facebook, Twitter are my 6. All right, and I'm gonna grab a drink with my last half a minute, and I'll be right back.
Let me retweet that.
I think Scott would be mad if I grabbed a bottle of whiskey.
Probably not. Like I'm half baked anyway, so who cares? Stoner boffin over here. I don't smoke grass though. I chew it. I'm just like a goat. God, that's such a beautiful language.
A high archaeologist. He's like, have you ever dug into the ground? Do you know what you find there? It's all.
That's gotta happen at some point. That's gonna be hilarious.
I'm just gonna keep this as awkward as possible, and every time Terry talks, I'm just gonna like fawn over him.
Oh, I'm gonna translate badly whatever he says. When he does that, I'm just gonna be like, yeah, Green, you fucking tell it.
All right.
I, honestly, I'm like I think that from now on, every single time I play a Star Wars RPG, I'm going to play an alien that does not speak common. Like this is.
Oh my god, that's gonna be so funny.
All right. I'm gonna roll credits. I'll be ready in 2.
Tonight, because I'm pretty sure, unless you have the stream sound on, Duke, that did not do what you wanted it to do.
Did you hear it?
No, I did not. Did you?
Maybe.
You really like that dice guy? Oh wow, Amor didn't, so it didn't happen. Sorry.
I missed everything that happened.
That's all right. So I'm sitting here talking to my stream, and they're all like, "You're muted," and I'm like,
Professionalism all over the place.
Yes.
It's not like, 2/3 of the people in this group are streamers or anything.
right? All right. So, are you good to go, Joe?
I'm good.
Good?
Yeah, we're
Awesome.
good.
All right. Welcome, everybody. This is going to be a lot of fun. We've got a good mix of experienced players and new players and kind of everywhere in between here. So, what I'd like to do to start out is I want everyone to kind of introduce themselves and their character, and keep it short, keep it sweet, so we can get into the game. But let's go around. Let's go around the table. Let's start with Mr. Dice.
Hello, my name is Dice, and I'm an alcoholic.
Hi, Dice.
It's been
Time.
it's been 9 days since my last drink, because that's the last time I was at my sister's house. She's a bad influence. My character, on the other hand, is that guy. Look at him. Look how intense he is. He's got face tattoos and he's mean.
All right, good to know. Confetti, would you like to go next?
Hi, I'm Confetti. And my character is Taritza Khan. She's a Togruta, and she is a bounty hunter. And she's not in a very good mood at the moment, so that'll be fun.
All right. Kirby.
Hi, I'm Doggo. I am I'm a Krillian, I think is what it was.
No, Plan duty.
Platoonian.
Plantunian. Yeah. I'm
You're
a
Corellian, your
Plantunian.
character was in an accident.
Yeah. I'm a Plantunian bounty hunter, and I'm on one of the biggest searches of my life. More figurines.
That tracks.
More
Mr.
figurines.
More figurines. Tujin, would you like to go on next?
Agora, gusta mani gribak, patora askune.
Why does he sound Middle Eastern?
It's a good thing I'm not in that room, or my panties would be moist.
Nice to meet you too, Greeback.
All right. No,
Like, all
you
right.
don't speak. You don't speak Rhodian. So for
I don't
those of you
need
that
to,
don't
I just
speak
think it's
Rhodian,
beautiful.
That's Rhodian. That
Hot.
is beautiful. Yes.
Hot.
And Beccatron.
So I am playing G723. They are a MD2 medical droid. Yeah, they're your garden variety, morally superior droid with beginnings as an organ harvester.
Love it.
Okay, I should actually introduce
Oh.
Gribak.
Okay.
That's how you got your
Oh, no.
start, organ harvester?
Yeah, she works for an HMO.
Yeah, oh,
Jesus.
damn. All right.
Gribak is a Rhodian, kind of just was previously working as a minion for underworld crime boss of some sort. Deal went south. He went on the run. So now he's just looking for work, but his skill set involves chasing people down after they try to run.
All right. Perfect.
You're a bail
And last but
bondsman.
not least, Infinite Power.
Oh, hey, I'm Chow,
Hello.
and I will be playing a Bothan archaeologist whose mother was just kidnapped, and I've been sent crashing into this place where I'm at. I'm very disoriented and kind of in a foul mood.
Okay. And I am Darth Penguin, your GM, and please, please, please bear with me while I remember how to do this after 15 plus years. So, we start on the planet of Arcanus. Arcanus, for those of you that aren't aware, is a sector capital in the Outer Rim. It is along the Corellian Run trade spine, not the biggest of trade routes, but an important one nonetheless. It does run directly through this system. Because of that, and because of its political leanings at the time of the rise of the Empire, it was chosen as the sector seat of power. There are some notable things that kind of everybody from the Outer Rim knows about Arcanus, so your characters would know this. And that is that there is a very prestigious military academy for the Empire located here. It is very secluded on the planet. It's actually it's not really public knowledge where it is on the planet. But you know it's here. You know that it is where a lot of Imperial officers that originated from the Outer Rim territories are trained before they go on to serve in the military. There is a major city which is the civilian seat of power. That is Scaparus. That is where you find yourselves. And you are effectively stuck. Those of you with the means to even buy passage off the planet have found that there aren't any ships departing the system. There are some kind of inter system traffic is continuing, but everything that is bound for another planetary system has been effectively grounded. You do notice that a lone Imperial class Star Destroyer does hang in orbit above the city. It's making everybody relatively nervous. You've been lured into the Pickled Nerf Spaceport Cantina with the promise of a possible ticket off the planet and out of the system. The proprietor, whose name is Jace Janrin, has asked each of you to show up at closing time for more information. Having no other immediate choices to you, you decide to hear what the human has to say. And that's where we begin. So, we are inside the cantina. You are all separate within this. Whether you've just arrived or you have been here for a little while. It's approaching closing time. The droid that kind of watches the door is starting to shuffle the last couple patrons out. There's a very drunk Rodian just kind of staggering out of the door. You notice you notice the droid behind the bar starting to clean up. Oddly enough, you kind of all smell a very distinct smell of carbon scoring. Like there's been blaster fire in the vicinity relatively recently. And it's strong enough that it's not even hard to detect. Now, before we meet the person, does anybody want to mingle or do anything before we meet Mr. Race?
Yeah, Taritz is just sitting there, man. She's on the semantic.
Okay.
So I guess the question would be: are there any denizens of the bar that are interesting?
I mean, so who's here right now? You have a Weequay that's standing kind of at the back, kind of guarding. You can tell he's been there a while. He's guarding the back room of this bar, and he's very nonchalantly just standing there up against the wall, fingering a blaster at his hip. Just kind of been staring each of you down, not really being menacing, but just kind of looking at you like, I see you, and you're fine. You can stay where you are. You're not really a threat to me. Other than that, it's been the bouncer droid and it's been the bartender droid, and there's been people coming and going, but it hasn't been very high traffic, especially for as much traffic has been around the spaceport and around this particular cantina. It's been kind of like other than the six of you, maybe 2 or 3 people in the last hour have come in, but they're definitely being shuffled.
Thanks for the raid, Yoshi.
On that note, if nobody else has anything.
Nope.
Order another drink.
You guys start to hear, or you're hearing the back door opens that is behind the bar that leads back into further into the building, and another Rodian comes out and basically starts to talk with the Weequay. While the door is open, you hear yelling. You hear a very heated conversation. It's deep enough back there that you can't quite make out what is
What's
said.
up, dude? Appreciate
But
it.
you definitely hear a very heated conversation. Door closes. The Rodian kind of looks over his shoulder at all of you kind of scattered around the bar, turns back to the Weequay, mutters another couple words, and then goes back inside. When the door opens again, you hear the yelling, and then it closes again. The Weequay kind of steps up, makes sure he has all of your attention. He goes, "Finish your drinks. Follow me when you're done." And he turns around, walks into the back room.
Griebach stands up and casually follows.
Okay.
Pick up my bag and follow.
I wasn't drinking. I was sitting there with my little holo cards that I have, and I'm trying to put them back together in a little deck and get up and follow.
All right.
So I chug the the rest of my drink real quick. It was that full. Wasn't that strong. And I get up and I just kind of go, okay, I guess. Walk, follow him in there.
All right. Does anybody do anything other than follow in? Like just kind of.
I mean, I'm waiting to see who's going to walk into the back room first and sort of get a good look at the people as they make their way through the bar. And I don't know why
Okay.
everyone's finishing the drink. I'm bringing my drink with me.
I'm kind of in a hurry. I go in there quick.
Okay. Becca, anything?
She like acknowledges the other droids and just kind of waddles towards the back.
Okay.
Aw.
All right. So everybody except for Dice kind of makes their way and starts filing into this back room. As Dice, I'm sorry, not Dice. Wait, who was it that brought their drink with them?
That's Dice.
Nice.
That's Dice. Yeah, that's what I thought. So as Dice is kind of like you pick it up. I'm going to say you were sitting at the bar and you kind of just start moving around the bar towards the back room, the door of which is behind the bar. And as you kind of cross that plane, the bartender droid kind of turns to you and says, "Excuse me, sir, but no drinks are allowed outside of the main cantina floor. If you would please, I would like to close up." And he kind of like reaches out his appendage and tries to take your drink from you.
I shake his hand and walk into the back.
All right, he goes, "Oh my," and just kind of like looks down his hand and just kind of goes back to what he's doing.
Okay.
All right, so there's not really much back here. You as you kind of walk in through this blast door, you do notice that it is a blast door. It is not a cheap door. It is something that could withstand a little bit of anger if it were directed at it.
Should I use the hand up function?
It immediately goes into a right turn down a hallway. You use the hand up function. Yes. What can you do?
No,
what can I do?
I'm curious if the smell of carbon scoring is getting stronger.
Yes.
Greebach just kind of like nudges. What is it, Vray? Can I call you Vray?
Yeah, that's fine.
Like we were both kind of like right there. Like as we're walking through the blast, I'm like, yeah, basura.
I'm gonna love this. All right, I can tell already. It's gonna be great. It's a right angle. It's a hallway. No features except for a couple of lights. Goes about 5 meters. Another right angle, right into another door. So it's there's nowhere else to go except in through the next door. So you guys just kind of meander on in there. Again, it's another blast door. In there you find the Rodian. I should say the Weequay waited for all of you to come through, and he is kind of the caboose of this little hero train.
When we enter into the room, I'd like to roll a perception check.
Okay. Sure. Go ahead. Well, what are you looking for?
Anything that gives me a negative impression of this boss. Anything that would give me any. I mean, I'm sure he's got carbon scoring. I want to know if there's like recent dead.
Okay.
Or
Let's
any sort of.
Okay. You are at the beginning. Do you want me to kind of like describe what you see, and then you can do a perception check to kind of see something more if you think there might be? Okay. Sure. As you kind of come into this room, and what everyone else will see as you kind of come in is it's a grungy office. It's not very well furnished, but there has been a fight in this room. The smell of carbon scoring is very strong. You can see some overturned and broken furniture. However, the main desk that a very grizzled looking, slightly overweight human is sitting behind is it's fine. It's it looks like it's seen some weather, but it's not damaged at all. You can see a very exasperated looking human male sitting behind the desk, just kind of sitting there with his hand just kind of nervously scratching at his scalp. You can see that there is I'm sorry?
Scattered paperwork, like.
No, as far as like the paraphernalia has all been cleaned up. So there's some debris that you can tell happened because of a fight of some kind, but like his desk is very ordered. What you do notice, and what doesn't really take a perception check, is that on the back wall behind the desk there is something obviously very missing. Whether that was there. Does that make sense? Like there's There's where the furniture exists, there's a hole where the wall that you can see behind where this hole is much cleaner than the wall. There's a void is a good place. You can tell. Matter of fact, yeah, go ahead and roll. If anybody wants to roll a perception check, and we'll just take the best of it, and we'll call it a 2 purple difficulty. All right, don't really have to go beyond that. So you succeed, and you can tell when you look at this void that something very heavy was here, and that when it was moved, it scraped the floor. You can see these gouges along the Duracrete floor. You can basically see that it was pulled off the wall in a way, and something very quickly lifted it up because the scratches end very, very closely. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Other than that, there's really not much else to notice. It's, a dingy back room office inside a cantina.
Do the blaster scoring look like hand blasters? Do they look like heavy blaster rifles, repeating rifles? What sort of can I tell?
I don't think you would have necessarily the knowledge. If somebody wanted to roll like a knowledge warfare, I could say maybe we could figure that out. But I don't think telling ever.
I'll do a warfare check.
Okay.
What's my difficulty?
Let's stick with 2 purple for now. Okay, you get a massive headache. No, you think about it really, really hard. You can tell that whatever, based off like the pattern of the scoring around like the edge of the room, you can tell 2 things. One, the fire wasn't very accurate. It's very scattered. Does that make sense? It's not like you're not looking at trained marksmen here, but you can tell that it's automatic fire. If that it's something with the ability of laying down multiple blasts very, very quickly.
Uka Goragaska.
You said it.
Yeah, I think he's asking what all that's about.
So the other Rhodian just kind of shrugs and chuckles a little bit and like reaches over to Race and is like, and you can't hear what he's muttering, but he's definitely commenting on whatever you just said.
Can G mathematically calculate either how many individuals or what kind of weapon was used to make this blast? Extrapolate based on the blast pattern?
Make a warfare check. Let's call that a 3 difficulty because you're getting way specific about forensics on a battlefield, I would say. So knowledge warfare, 3 purple difficulty. Okay.
Hey.
I'm backtracking here, and I'll try not to do this very much, but I want you to take a strain, Duke, for the 2 threats that are there. Only 1 strain, and then you're going to take a strain as well, G Unit. You can tell that whatever happened in this room, it happened very, very fast. You can tell that it was kind of like an attack of shock and awe. So, whether it was a lot of people that came in here or a few, they laid down enough blaster fire to pin anybody that was in this room either to the floor dead or cowering in fear, quickly grabbed what they were after, picked it up, and ran. Does that make sense? They basically, they didn't come in looking to kill a thing or shoot a thing. They just sprayed the room to kind of make everyone in and go, oh crap, and dive for cover. So I don't know if that would tell you exactly how many, but
is G Unit obviously a medical droid?
The 2MD medical droid is well, this is what I'll say about droids. It is obviously a medical droid body. Would you say that's fine, correct, Becca? But yeah.
If I just want to know, based on the model, is it obviously a medical droid?
Yeah, I don't think the 2, Becca might be able to answer this better than me, but I don't think the 2MDs were ever used as any other model, or archetype.
Then the other question I would have is, would I know if that particular model of medical droid has like surface, like scanners, like for surfaces, bacteria, that sort of thing?
You wouldn't know what kind of
Like
what kind of
not necessarily this one,
specific
just
hardware.
knowing about the general capabilities of a medical droid of her model, not her refitted one.
Yeah, I'm gonna say no, just
Okay.
because it's like they're even a medical droid isn't going to be, a medical droid is trained in the use of medical equipment. Doesn't mean it's going to necessarily have that equipment installed in it.
That's fine.
Okay.
Fine. I take it.
Okay. So at this point, you guys have all kind of filed in the room. You're looking around. You're kind of seeing the evidence of this blaster fight. The only one who really, is far enough forward in this room to kind of realize that something has been stolen and it used to live, there, is going to be Chow at this point. But he'll, I'm sure, bring that up. Maybe not. The proprietor who's sitting there just kind of like this, he's like, have a seat and let's get this over with. And he kind of just like points to the various couches and chairs and just kind of waits for you guys to kind of sit down. I'm assuming everybody does. Maybe the droid just kind of stands in the corner and goes, yeah. And he goes, all right, so listen, obviously nobody wants to be here. I've seen you guys around town. I've seen you guys. I know you guys are looking for a way off planet. I might have a job for you that's going to get you out of the system. Due to the nature of it, it's limited on the kind of information I'm going to be able to give you before you agree to do it. I hope you understand. It's the world we live in.
Oh my God.
So let's assume, for the sake of this, that his Rhodian is translating for him, or he understands you. I don't understand you. What are you saying?
You
Terry?
don't. That doesn't matter. It
Like,
doesn't matter. It's
it is
beautiful.
what it is. Like, kind of just a general agreement. Like if I'm saying something like that, they would obviously want to react strongly to. I will. Like, I'm not going to be like, hey, fuck you. I'm actually saying fuck you. But
So what he'll say is like, listen, something was taken from me. I need a group of people to go get it back. If you can do that for me, I'll get you out of the system. That's the broad strokes. If you want more information, you got to be in. Take that or leave that. If you have questions, now's the time to ask. I may not answer. You know what I mean? Like, it's
What sort of difficulty level are we talking here? Like, you're asking us this very broad-based thing. Return this thing which was probably stolen. So there's a group, and you want us to just agree to it without knowing what we're getting ourselves into. You're gonna have to be a little bit more forthcoming than that.
Yeah, that's fair, kid. Honest to God, I don't know who these idiots are. I didn't recognize them on the security tapes. It was a couple of thugs. They're human. I don't know if that matters.
Significantly.
They
You know how many?
Yeah. Four attacked the room. I wasn't here. I don't know if they were here for me.
Do you have tapes?
But he's reluctant to kind of show you his security system a little bit. He's like, I don't. But
look, you can record it and just give it to a droid. You can give it to an astromech and project it. I don't need it in your system. But if we're gonna do a thing for you, we need to be armed with information. That's how you win these fights. Because clearly, based on what I'm seeing here, they have firepower that. No disrespect, guys, but we don't have that firepower. God, I want to do you.
Speak for yourself.
Well,
All right.
I'm fine. I will speak for myself. I don't have that kind of firepower, and if I'm going to lend my expertise to this, I need more.
All right, so he's thinking. He's like, all right, let me think about that. And he's looking. He's like, listen, I know a couple of you are hunters. I figure you might have the ability to track these people down. Like, what I can tell you is this: they came in, they took something. It's heavy, so they had a heavy with them. Something. It's heavier than any human's going to carry, so I don't know how they got it. They left, and they left the planet. But you guys know the situation. The imps aren't letting anybody out, so I don't know where the hell they went.
What was stolen?
A safe.
How much does a safe weigh?
Probably about 100 kilos.
Like Ginkakusa. And Greebot like pulls his blaster out and just like sets it down on the table, like he's in.
Okay. Say, all right. He's like, all right, we got one. He's like, you, Hunter. How about you? He's looking like literally at you two. Because like honestly, the hunters are what he was after, and he's like, you guys are gonna need some help in the muscle. So he's looking for somebody to track this group down. So he's basically like, listen. Now let me think about this. So it's not a bad request. I get the requirement for information, but do this. Roll a negotiation check. Two purple.
Who? Me?
No, Chow. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Or should I just? Okay.
Okay, so it's a wash. And he's like, you got no reason not to believe me what I'm telling you. It was 4 guys. They came in. They had automatic blasters. They overpowered my idiot staff. They took the safe and they skedaddled. They didn't kill anybody. I don't think they want that kind of heat. But, me and my 2 guys here are not enough to kind of go and get it back, if you know what I mean. So
if they're all humans, do we know what kind of blast? Because like certain kind of blasters, only certain people kind of carry, right? Like it's a signature thing for your bounty hunters, isn't it? So
it's just from what we saw.
Like Greebot comes over to Frey, like Bakiska, Skunabanabaska, Isapuska. He's like clearly like come on, man. Like Bokusa.
You're fucking adorable. Fine.
Lakori, Buska.
And
He like points at the blaster, Bakuska.
So he's watching this like interaction between the fucking roadie and the Bothan, and he's like, fucking aliens.
I am gonna take some Rosetta Stone Rhodium the next time I get access to a ship.
Right. And he kind of looks and he's like, you Miss Khan, are you in?
So Sarah's been listening, obviously, to that whole exchange. Generally, somewhat amused because she didn't expect somebody to actually ask that many questions and kind of, discreet and all that. It's the bounty hunter way of life, right? So she's kind of like,
Doing great, Jess.
got no other way off the planet, so she's thinking about, so
He goes,
we
Even if nothing else, we have
got
the
this
numbers game.
ragtag group of people that don't even know each other and even expect us to
Look at the house show.
roll,
he kind of I like it. He kind of looks at Doggo and he's like, I know you're gonna love any opportunity to knock some heads together. So how about you? Are you in?
Hey now. I never said I wasn't in. I'm just saying you might want to start managing your expectations when you have random people.
McClunky.
I'm a little hesitant just because the fact that they were able to get off a planet so easily. But
Do you tell him this?
Wait.
Yeah.
Are we sure they're off world?
yeah, he said they got off planet.
Yeah.
He's like, that's a very good point. So obviously with the Imperial, the Imperial blockade of the planet or the system at the moment, we were kind of taken by surprise with that as well. However, our contacts at the spaceport tell us the ship they fled in that they stole does not have a hyperdrive. So they probably were able to kind of, get out of the spaceport based off the fact that nobody watching thought they were able to get very far, and the fact that local traffic is still allowed to, like the planet hoppers and the local cargo ships that are just running around the system are able to, keep flying.
So as
The
far
Imperial-
as you understand, they're still in the system.
Oh, we have every reason to believe they're still in the system. I just don't know what the hell they're doing with my safe. I don't, it was locked when it left the office. I don't know how long it's going to stay that way. So you guys are my best chance. So, I mean, how, what? We invited a freaking medical droid because, people like to live. So medical droids are good.
People like to live.
But Goragaski. Well, he's asking what's in it. What's in the safe? But Goragaski.
Ideally, you don't need to know. You're going to bring it back to me intact and unopened.
Bakuna pusta dusta. Like, what if it's already open? How do we know what's supposed to be in there?
It's not credit, so don't feel like you're going to get away with my money. All right, it's information. It's encrypted data cards that are of a sensitive nature that cannot. I would really like back.
I
Skana.
get you.
He picks up his blaster and puts it back in his holster. Skana.
I
Love it.
Sorry.
That,
Down.
you know what? It is, yes. Becca, he did address and he was like, we their droid, very, very South Jersey accenty. What do you have?
I've just been kind of watching everybody talk. Okay, are you guys done yet? And I say something along the lines of, well, the only logical conclusion is that we helped you. This is the only logical course of action.
Sure.
Okay.
Logical course of action is fine. Having a plan before we do it, not the worst idea. I would also say that's pretty logical.
All right, so he's like, all right, well,
Bothan on that one.
hell, I even agree you guys should have a plan, but none of it's going to matter if the guy with the ship isn't in. Looking at you, Dice.
I finish my drink, toss on the glass, and say, is there hazard pay?
He's like, I'm glad you asked. What I'm offering is a free ticket out of the system. That's all I can offer. But it's more than you're going to get from anybody else. And what I can tell you is this. There ain't one human among you. And this is the Imperial seat of the Arcanus sector. We're on lockdown for a reason. I can't get into it. I'm not an Imperial. But how long do you think it's going to be before they come looking at you for trouble?
Bora.
That's a whole lot of words that don't answer the question whether there's hazard pay or not.
I mean, I'm less inclined to want the people that took my safe back alive. I don't know what they have on them, but you're welcome to that. I don't know why this guy is all of a sudden from South Jersey. I want to apologize for that.
I've been in a pizza parlor for a while here.
My accents drift all over the place. So.
Yeah, right. Okay.
You keep it up, I'm gonna start talking like Doc Holliday.
Your voice has already been complimented in my chat, Terry, so keep it up.
Bora.
All right. Well, I want to get off this planet, so I'm in.
So he's like,
Go.
perfect. All right. So what he'll tell you, Ed, I'm sorry, what he'll tell you, Dice, is, listen, I get it. I wish I had better information for you about what kind of paydays at the end of this. What I can offer is this. If you agree, and he kind of pulls a card out, and he says, this is from the Spaceport Authority. It is something for your transponder that will allow you to exist in this system without Imperial, interest, and be able to fly around. It's basically, he explains this in a much better way. It's basically like a license to investigate on behalf of the Spaceport Authority. So it's not a bad thing to have access to. Does that make sense? Like, he's basically deputizing your ship and the crew of your ship as investigators on behalf of the spaceport. Because, like I said, these guys stole a ship and left.
Bunga gari. Buzka.
Is Buzka let's go?
He is like.
Uh-oh,
Yeah.
who'd we lose?
Becca.
Oh,
Oh no.
Oh no.
All the cameras exploded
Oh,
again.
there she is.
The
Yeah,
camera's
hold on.
exploded.
Technical difficulties. Terry's like overtaking confetti.
I'm gonna take over the entire thing.
Confetti is wearing Terry like a hat.
Yeah. You really were. It was adorable. All right, good. We're good. We're back. Sorry about that.
So, in response to being offered the PI license, I pull a previously unseen flask out of the back of my belt, take a long swig, and say, "That sounds like fun." And I start walking towards the door.
Okay. I want you to make, because you brought your drink in here. You finished that. I want you to make a survival check.
Oh, this is gonna be interesting.
Against
Drinking out of the
2
flask.
purple. Actually, look, you can do. Let's make it an athletics check.
What?
You sure we can't do a survival check?
Fine, do whichever. Do a survival check. That's what I said first. I shouldn't have, but I'll allow it.
Great success.
Keep forgetting that I have to switch tabs. Sorry, what's that? All right, so you take the swig of this flask and you're like, yeah, it sounds like fun. He kind of flips you the data card that you're gonna put in your thing, and he as you kind of turn, you narrowly escape tripping over the edge of a couch or like a little, I'm not a couch, but like a chair, and you just kind of do a little doot and just kind of swing around it and head for the door.
Very, very smooth operator.
Yeah,
I look
very
over my
sm-
shoulder
what-
and say,
it's
"My
smooth
mother was
to
a
everyone
ballerina."
else. And you can have your strain back for the advantage, by the way.
I look over at Doggo and say, "He's driving."
He's the pilot.
Yeah.
And hearing that, I look back over my shoulder, cheers him with the flask, take a long drink, and go, "Ship's leaving," and walk out the door.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
So as you leave, he's like, "There's a time limit on this." He's like, "I need you guys back here within 24 hours with the safe. If not, it ain't worth coming back."
Why? Because
I
your
ain't
biological
around.
samples are gonna die?
Do you ask him that? And he,
No.
okay.
Really had to
If I
think
find
about
a 50-year-old infant in this, I'm keeping it.
A 50-year-old infant. I like that. Jesus, how derivative do you think I am, man?
You find a biological creature named Grogon.
Are you guys following the smuggler? Or-
Yeah,
I'm shaking my
yeah.
head and just getting up
Yeah.
and following him.
Okay.
Got up and I turned and I look at the human. I look at him and I say, "If we don't come back in 24 hours, it's because your ship's because he's been drinking."
All right. I'd like to knowledge Outer
And then I
Rim
leave.
to know options for places they could be based on the information he's given us. He said they're still in system, right?
Yeah, so based off the kind of ship that they took off this planet, they could not have left the system in it.
Right. So I'm assuming there are how many habitable planets in the system? I need to know that.
One.
Just
There are one common knowledge.
One-
As we're
one
walking up
as
to,
one as in
I'm
the
sorry.
one we're on.
One habitable planet. Yes,
Moons.
one moon that supports a. I don't know if this is common knowledge. Yeah, I guess it would be. It supports life, but it's very hostile. Like it's a very barren. Think like the
East Texas.
more like southern Utah, or the desert you live in, very mountainous, like, or Afghanistan. I don't know, like what you'd want to imagine it as, but it's very very thin atmosphere. But yeah, it would support life. Like you could stay there for a little bit. You wouldn't be able to like live and thrive there. Does that make sense?
right? But it could be like
So-
it could be a pickup point,
Maybe.
maybe.
Yeah, but yeah, the because Arcanus is a sector capital, like it's pretty common knowledge, like what's there, what's around, what's available, kind of thing. So
As we're on our way out the door, Greebach is just like looks at the other roadie and he's like, "Busca Kuli?" Like, is this dude trustworthy? Basically, like a shorthand version of that question.
he's asking the other Rhodian.
Right, like it's like kind of like a Rhodian to Rhodian thing. Like, is this dude cool? Basically, just
He's the Rhodian just kind of looks at you and is just like, who do you? He doesn't even respond. He's just like,
what's that? And he's
yeah. So the
I'm now
Rhodian.
halfway down the hallway, looking back and yell McClunky over my shoulder as I walk around.
Yell McClunky. He just pulls his blaster.
Is that the name of his ship?
No, I don't know. Is it?
Is McClunky the name of my ship? No.
Okay.
That would be hilarious if it was.
So
It can
you
be.
guys get back out to the cantina. The Rhodian walks up to the weak way that kind of stayed out front, or had kind of like led you guys out, I should say, because he came in behind you. And he kind of walks up to him, sidles up to him, and whispers something in his ear. Weak way kind of nods and kind of looks at all of you and is like, "Hey, meet me out front. I'll be driving you to the spaceport." And he kind of leaves out the front door and walks around back. So now would be a good time if you guys want to introduce yourselves to each other or talk amongst yourselves for a couple minutes and yeah.
Not really super keen on giving away information, so hanging. I like the Rhodian though, and it's great because he probably understands me. I don't understand him, but it's fine. Adorable.
Bakuga. Let's keep going. Greebach is I guess I didn't get a chance to describe. Like, he's just a standard Rhodian wearing gray kind of padded, heavy clothing, right? Like, he's kind of padded a little bit with some sort of protection. And he's got like a faded leather, like yellow leather jacket. But it's got like a nice, he's a very aged leather, yeah, he just walks out to the front, sees the dude kind of disappear around back. I guess he's grabbing the vehicle. So walk over to the bartender droid and just try to grab a quick Akuta.
All right. So the bartender droid kind of looks up at you. He's like, "I am sorry, sir. We are closed for the evening. If you'll come by tomorrow at sunrise, we will be happy to serve you."
Pakuta, busca para pasca, cantuta. And he's like pointing at the back, like yelling about his boss. Like, "I work for your boss. Get me a drink."
And he kind of like looks up and goes, "My word." He just kind of picks up a glass, puts it up, pours it, puts it forward to you,
Pakiski.
turns around, walks away.
Pakiski.
Do you drink it?
Oh, skeet, yeah.
It's water.
All right.
It's water.
He's now in the back room. He's scared of you now. Does anybody else want to interact or talk to each other before we move out front? Or
I lean up against the bar, with, like my back to the bar, like my legs kind of crossed, and I'm just absently flipping a coin into the air that nobody saw like a second ago.
so you're literally just doing this?
Just flicking coin, catching it, flicking coin,
Oh,
catching it.
so
like,
there's an
my-
actual
my-
coin.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. And I have
Athletics check. Hold on.
a wide-brimmed hat pulled low. Athletics check to flip a coin.
Yes.
So-
I'm not like making it bounce off things.
Isn't
I'm
it-
just
wait.
flipping it into the air and catching it.
Coordination's a thing, right?
Coordination.
Yes.
is a thing.
Coordination check, please. How much money do you have?
Like in real life or in the game?
In
Because
the-
I don't know what those
in
I'm
the
comfortable
game.
with. If you want a bribe for me to be able to flip a coin, I'm just gonna be like tossing the salmon cards or something.
All right. Well, let's say it's depending on, you've had 2 drinks. We're gonna call it 3 purple. Coordination check. And I want you to flip the coin.
Great success.
Okay, so you guys watch this Zabrak who just kind of like pulls like straight up out of, I don't know, Cowboy Bebop or something, just like leans up against the bar, puts the hat brim down, and just goes ding. And you see this like credit chip just go.
So I just want to be clear on something that was discussed in the office earlier.
Yeah.
Was it we're taking your ship, or are we taking one of his ships?
Sure sounds like everybody's taking my ship.
Now I'm curious why he's offering a ticket off-world to somebody who has a ship.
Listen, you can't open the book of my life to the middle, okay?
Just seems like
Before Awana.
seems like a strange reward for someone who's already got passage.
Griebach like walks over to Vray, like puts the drink down.
I'm
in
not
front of him.
upset. I'm just curious.
Water. Say, have some water.
Bakuda. Baskawana. He like makes like a triangle with his hands. Bakuda. He points up at the Star Destroyer. Bakakuda Waka.
Yes, Pythagoras can fly.
All right, so you hear like a honk from out front.
Does the Clantunian start barking?
Does the Clantunian?
Ears perk up and look around.
It's over there, bud. It's over there.
You need
Well
to be
trained.
careful. You need to be careful, Doggo, because I did inform one member of this group that in the Explorer Handbook there is a dog whistle.
Hey,
So
fan fucking tastic.
We're here.
Alright,
for
well,
you.
I get up and I just kind of glance at everybody and just start walking out the door.
I'll follow after.
okay. All right. If there are
Pushes
no,
someone out the way.
I
Becca,
catch the
you're-
coin in my
you're
pocket
muted.
and walk out door.
Very leery of that fella.
Oh no, her microphone's.
all right, we'll get there. She's like, I'm not going out the door. I'm not going. Fuck y'all. I'm out.
We cannot hear you.
Yeah,
One word sounds like is it a movie?
is it a Star Destroyer?
Is it a Pythagorean theorem? Does
Okay.
this side equal this side?
Boom.
The vocabulary is busted.
Speak Rhodian.
Speaking
Rhodian sign
You just
language.
type. I mean, you can just type it in
Rhodian
chat
sign
until.
language.
She'll be back. I hope. The
It's just a bunch of lip contortions.
Mark Lanke.
Stock movements or ear stock movements.
Yes. So when you guys get out front, you see what did I say he was? The
Weak way.
Weequay.
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 Sitting behind the wheel of a speeder bike. Not a speeder bike, I'm sorry, like a multi-person land speeder. It's like,
think
you know,
we're
a little. It is what it is. It's gonna fit you all, but it's not gonna fit much more than that.
I'm sorry, I blew it up again.
Kinda-
There was a reason we
you're
didn't
fine.
use that
Wow.
laptop review.
Holy shit.
Okay, Skype.
So we're gonna wait for
We
that.
acknowledge
There you go.
comments.
Okay.
It'll come back.
Skype's drunker than I am.
We're gonna let that sit for a minute and see if you stay that size. Oh, there you go. Perfect. You guys see this like six passenger land speeder. Weequays are driving. He's just like, hop in, short ride.
I'll take a
All right,
front
so
seat.
I hop in.
Assuming everybody
Hey.
hops in.
Hop in. Okay.
Assuming everybody hops in. Yeah. He kind of takes off. Now, like I said, this canteen is very close to the spaceport. It's on the crappier side of town. It takes maybe 5 minutes to get there. He's not obeying very many traffic laws, but there's also not that much traffic out either. Like I said, with the Star Destroyer overhead, it's been very, very, tense in this city. It's not something that's normally there, so people tend to go home after work and not remain out in public. So as he gets to the entrance of the starport, you see a couple of Imperial stormtroopers standing kind of watch at the entrance. You see some Spaceport Authority, flunkies for lack of a better word, kind of standing with them, and they kind of wave the Weequay over. One of the Starport Authority employees kind of walks up to him. He asks, hey, what's going on here? The Weequay's like, the boss wants him off planet. They're investigating the robbery. And he goes, all right. So he walks over to the stormtroopers, kind of has a short little conversation with them. Stormtroopers kind of look over at you all, just kind of wave you through. That's it. And once Weequay drives on into the starport, he kind of turns. I think you're sitting behind him, Dice, and he goes, "What docking bay?" Make one up. Doesn't matter.
J47B 63 Alpha.
Kind of looks at you and he goes, just shakes his head and fucking drives on. Takes a couple minutes to drive through through all the cargo and everything else and kind of make your way there. You guys come up on a closed docking bay door. He's like, here you are, and we'll see. And he basically says, get out. That's about it.
I look at G-Unit and say, it's a good thing you weren't the droid those stormtroopers were looking for.
Oh, Lord.
And as I walk around the front of the speeder and look at the Weequay, toss him the coin that I was flipping earlier and say, thanks for the ride, Jeeves, and walk towards the ship.
Okay, so take 500 credits off your character. Didn't specify what size coin it was.
Hate to see it.
It's 5. I told you I'm not an evil GM. It's 5 credits. He catches it. He's like, all right. Fucking puts it in his pocket. Like, gooses the speeder, turns it around, and fucking books it. So this is the hangar. You have access to it, Dice, obviously, because your ship's parked inside. Obviously the blast door is closed, the cargo one and the personnel one. What do you want to do?
I'm going to do a quick visual inspection of the outside of my ship before I walk up to the keypad and key in the code to have the landing gate door come down.
So you just walk straight into the hangar though? Like there's nothing so basically you're in the hallway. You haven't gone into the hangar yet. There's 2 doors. There's a cargo door much larger, right? And then there's like the crew door, so to speak. It's just a normal whatever door. There's a code, obviously, whenever you land at a starport in your own ship, they're like, okay, we want to let you secure your hangar, so you have an access code. You can keep the doors open, keep the doors closed, doesn't matter, do what you want. But obviously they were closed, so nobody's seen your ship yet. Do you want to just be like, all right, here it is? You want to introduce your ship, or just walk in and walk up to it?
I walk up to the crew door and I sort of cover the keypad a little bit. Like we're leaving, but it's still at the same time. I tend to use the same key code over and over again for these things, so I don't want them to know that my password is password. So I'm typing in the password.
Perception check.
The keypad.
You can do it. You're gonna do an opposed roll. What is your skullduggery, Duke? I'm sorry, Dice. I apologize. I'll get better at the whole doxing.
2 green and a yellow.
All right, so 2 green and a yellow. So your perception difficulty is going to be. What would that be? That would be 2 purple and a red. Yeah.
2 purple and a red.
Our first red, ladies and gentlemen. Okay.
No dice.
Not only did you not see it, but he saw you trying to look.
I unstrap the safety latch on one of my blasters and look over my shoulder and say, anything interesting you'd like to see over here, friend?
Everything is interesting.
He's from Tennessee, apparently. Okay.
I'm going to alternate between Tennessee, Alabama, and Georgia through this campaign, I feel like.
Kirby might have something to say about that, but that's okay.
It's the same one.
It's just the same.
It's the same
one.
It's like, all right. So you put your code in, door opens, no issues.
And I look over my shoulder and say, guys, you are lucky. You have no idea how fortunate you are to get to crew aboard the best smuggling ship there has ever been. This ship it may not be the fastest thing out there, but this is the ship that you want to be in to get the job done. And I leave the door open behind me as I walk through.
What kind of ship is it?
Bear with me.
No, Bear's over here.
As you guys walk into this hangar, expecting to see whatever your imagination imagines the next Millennium Falcon to look like, what you actually see is the most ostentatiously painted Sorosub Luxury 3000 space yacht. Tinted windows, gleaming chrome, like plated arm, like it's not armor, but it's like your whole plating is chromed out, like it's made on fucking Naboo.
Decorative.
Decorative. Like it hurts your eyes. It's so bright because of course before he left the spaceport, he made sure every light was pointed directly at it.
It's to distract the turbo laser gunners. If you blind them, they can't shoot you.
Does anybody want to make a
Snarky
kind of
comment?
a snarky comment? Let's see. What
Yes,
kind of
please,
knowledge?
Doggo, please.
So this would be, I would say, it's not really warfare. Let's say I would call it a lore check. It's not specifically the lore you're into, but it's like knowing, the specifics of ships would maybe be lore. What do you think? What do you think, Tujin? You've done this before.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
So, like, what kind of knowledge check would you normally see to, like, understand what they're looking at? Like, okay, it's a Sorosub. It's a luxury yacht. You can tell it's obviously an expensive ship, but, like...
That's probably
like,
education or warfare.
I tend to avoid rolls if there's no, like, failure state, right? So, like, in this case, like, what you said so far is good.
Okay.
They wanted to know, like, hey, what's the hyperspace range on one of these? Then you might call for one. Then I might call for one. You know what I mean? But
I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you see this very obvious, like, bougie,
Boozy?
Bougie.
bright luxury yacht,
McClunky.
McClunky.
Is that a
That has been
McClunky?
described-
As I'm walking towards the ramp, I yell over my shoulder, "Mind your shoes on the shag carpet."
Bakuna.
Turrets is really
The Rodian
cool.
is like totally into this. This is
Entire
amazing.
time.
He's like, this ship is fucking fly as fuck. Like he's like happy strolling onto it.
I look
Player
over
go-
at Doggo and say, I don't know if he's actually being serious or if he's talking about me.
Doggo looks at the roadie and goes, "You're right. It is tacky as hell." And starts walking towards the door.
All right. Player knowledge versus character knowledge here. When we were designing this, we like our inspiration was the Grandmaster's ship from Thor Ragnarok.
Oh my god.
There may or may not be a button on the dashboard.
There may or may not be
Line
an
that says,
"It's my birthday" button.
It's my birthday button.
Okay, so Teritza, like, she sees this and she just kind of blinks at it for a minute because obviously she's blinded a little bit, and just kind of goes conspicuous, and just kind of walks. I guess this is what we got. All right. Walks in.
So everybody's going aboard.
I
He
mean,
looks around. Subtle, are we?
And I just sort of toss over my shoulder, "Subtlety is overrated," as I walk towards the landing dock.
Okay, so as you guys like, we're gonna have like a little period here where everybody just kind of gets aboard, and this is kind of what you find. This is, as far as you can tell, an absolute stock Sorosub 3000 luxury yacht. It is, 10 very well appointed passenger cabins. There's a small cabin for 3 crew members. There's a small cargo area. There's an observation deck. There's like a communal conference area. It's kind of like what you would expect from a luxury yacht for somebody that's, well-to-do. You don't find any weapon consoles. You don't find much in the way of defensive consoles.
We're a
You know.
shiny, easy target.
Now,
I mean-
now I hear your judgment as you're looking around the ship. You're looking at the interior, but there's three things that I would say. First of all, it's got a hot tub. Second of all, everybody gets their own room. And third of all, anyone has anything bad to say about it, I'm gonna fight you. So how we doing here? Everybody good? Good. Can I start?
My
Greenbug
ears
just,
perk.
like,
My
goes
ears
in,
perk back
uh,
up.
Greenbug just like steps behind Dice like Bakuda. What's the problem? What's going on?
Even my survey vessel had weapons on it.
Does anybody want to do any kind of like searching around or skullduggery,
No, I
Break
took,
it up.
perceptions?
I took my shot
anything?
and missed. I'm not trying to
I wanna
piss him
look.
off anymore.
I want to look to my left. Do I see any like buttons or anything?
Yes.
What do they look like? What do I see?
They're
Milk
square, lit up. There's some touch panels. This is
Nice.
like a really, really fucking sleek Star Wars ship. Touch panels, less dials
Okay.
and buttons,
What does
like
this do?
J.J. Abrams version. Yeah.
So it's lens
What
flare
is-
everywhere.
Lens
Everywhere
flare
you look is
everywhere.
lens flare.
What does this do? And I want to touch the panel.
So that panel specifically is actually for the holosuite. So this ship comes equipped with a fully functioning holosuite connection, which means being able to communicate across hyperspace and all that. However, before it kind of like loads up, you get an ad for the Sullust interior Enclave Casino, and it's just Sullust interior Enclave Casino. Come spend your credits and have a luxury vacation on Sullust. And then boom, you see like a normal boot up process.
Puta,
for-
puta, 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 puta. Like pull that back up. What was that? Go back to that.
I touch it again, trying to go back.
It's on.
You're like fucking with the panels and shit. Like
It's already on at this point. Basically, it's a it's attempting to connect to the local HoloNet. However, it's you're receiving connection denied messages. You can turn it off again and turn it back on, and maybe you'll get the message again.
I do it.
Okay, so yeah, before it comes up, you get Sullust Interior Enclave Casino. Come enjoy your time. It's a little bit different, but kind of the same thing.
I'm nodding at the Rodian, looking at the
Sullust
casino
Interior-
ad.
I'm writing this down. I want to go to this place. Sullust Interior what?
Interior Enclave Casino.
Enclave
Casino.
Casino. Like literally, like Greenbug like pulls something out and makes a note of it. Like I'm like, boop that.
Do you straight up like pull out ancient paper and write on it and create like some tome of mythical lore in Star
I mean-
Wars?
I mean, I'm imagining that like he would have something for jotting down notes, right? Like either a data pad or something.
We'll say you remember it, so just make sure you make a note of it somewhere.
I did.
But
I
it is-
did.
could be a good. Anybody else, or do you guys want to kind of take off and go try to figure out where these idiots went?
So
as people are. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Kyle.
the HoloNet. Is it just like an ad space HoloNet? Like obviously
Yep.
it's not doing anything else, or
What you can tell, what you specifically can tell based on your background and the fact that this is something you would have seen before. This is a fully functioning tap into a HoloNet. Like this vessel
interesting.
has access to this. However, at the moment, all connections are being refused.
Delightful.
Yes.
Okay.
Except for serving that ad that it wants us to see.
Well, that's what you can tell by that is like the operating system for the HoloNet is being preloaded by this ad. Does that make sense? Like, you can also tell that the quality of the furnishings aren't quite up to the quality of the ship. Does that make sense? Like
Yeah.
it's
Salvage title. Bakuda Busta.
Is this like the floor
But-
model of spaceships?
Yes.
say again. Sorry.
This is like the floor model of spaceships.
It's the
This
free
is-
version
this
of
is
the
what-
mobile phone game.
This is the cheapest version of a Soros Sub 3000 yacht you can imagine. Does that make sense? Like
Yes.
it is a Soros Sub 3000. It is a luxury yacht. However, corners were cut.
It's like a high-end RV that got like a shoddy like interior
Bingo.
Right,
Yes.
whatever. Yeah.
Money
Free
was saved
point.
wherever money could be saved, and still call it hate. There is a hot tub, but it's broken half the time. In other words,
Is it broken right now?
You know what? Dice, I want you to roll a mechanics check. 2 difficulties. You've been good. You've been on fire thus far.
Standing behind Dice as he's like trying to start up the hot tub, like what's that?
God damn it! All right, so
the
hot tub is
awful
working.
critical of my ship all of a sudden.
the hot tub roars to life. However, lights in half the ship go out.
That's actually my response as Doggo. Is I just laugh. Like I can't hold it in at this point. It's just.
And I look back at everybody and say, "Built-in mood lighting, no extra charge."
Bakuna.
And
So-
I look at our Rhodian friend and say, "Get a little help with the pre-flight checklist there, my friend."
He gets out of the hot tub like that, shaking off. Yeah, and he'll like go do whatever the standard stuff is for pre-flight.
Go ahead and give me the link on Gilded for your ship now, Duke, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Just so I can give it the right name and stuff, and throw it on the group page as well. So this is like yes, it comes with dice, but I want you guys to kind of like understand that this is group property for all intents and purposes, if that makes sense. Provided you
Carpet. I'll stain the carpet with blood. That's all I'm saying.
All right, cool. The Starlit Dream. Okay, cool. Obviously, you've been piloting this ship for a period of time. You know what to do. You know how to get it off the ground. What I will say is this: before you are able to engage the engines, comm in the cockpit kind of crackles to life, and what you hear is Sullust, Interior Enclave Casino. We can't wait to see you. And then like you hear a message on the comms immediately, like halfway. Somebody's been talking already, so it kind of comes in. He's like, "Where you think you're going?" And then you hear it repeats. Starlit Dream. Where do you think you're going?
I'm sorry, I don't speak basic.
Bakusta, do this for the mana.
Starlit Dream, you spoke basic when you landed. You haven't paid your docking fees. Exactly where do you think you're headed?
I'm sorry, I don't speak basic. I only know how to say that and this sentence in basic.
Starlit Dream, you do not have clearance for takeoff. We are sending a translator droid and security crew to your bay. Please meet them at your loading dock.
I'm sorry, I don't speak basic. I only know how to say I don't speak basic in this sentence explaining it in basic. Can I just like? I'm gonna pull down the intercom speaker and like flip the 3 switches that Wash from Firefly always flips and like pull down the speaker. This is your captain speaking. We are going to be cruising as soon as I deal with the interesting docking authority that we have outside of the ship. Please make sure your tray tables are locked in the upright position. Discharge the hot tub, and if anyone makes fun of my ship, I will know, and then I put it away.
It's almost. I wish you had like a card or something you could throw into your transponder that might like tell them why you're about to leave with a hyperspace capable vessel.
And I just sort of like
desperately trying to get the hot tub to drain, like it keeps clogging the drain. Or like,
oh, and I suddenly like have this realization where it's like, oh. And just like mutter to myself, I gotta stop drinking. I pulled the card out of my pocket and put it into the slot of the computer system.
Okay, so you hear a couple seconds go by, and the voice comes back. The communication was never severed, so you don't get the ad to play again, sadly. But the voice comes back and he's like, Starlit Dream, we see now that you have been cleared for intersystem travel. Apparently you're investigating the theft of a ship from here about 18 hours ago. good luck with that. We would definitely like our patrol craft back. So, don't know why you could have just said that, Dick. Bye.
I'm sorry, I don't speak basic. I only know how to say that in the sentence explaining it. As I power the engines on and start.
Comms go off, and before the comms get cut completely off, you hear Starlight Casino, inner enclave, Sullust, inner enclave, God damn it, now I'm fucking it up. Sullust, inner enclave casino. Welcome back whenever you want. And then the comms shut off.
Where are you going?
Can we just assume every time you guys turn on a system, you guys get an ad for the Sullust Inner Enclave Casino?
No.
Oh,
And every time
No.
something turns off?
No.
No, I'm gonna need to hear it. I'm gonna need to hear it in order for the ambiance to work right.
Yeah.
at some
Why,
point, like
why do I
somebody's
why
supposed
do
to
I do
sing
this
it.
to myself?
Yep.
Why don't I should have known.
I kind of look over my shoulder. Is there anybody in the cockpit with me, or is
That's up to
Reebok
them.
still draining the hot tub?
Yeah, Greebach is kind of running around doing a couple pre-flight things, like with more franticness than is really called for. But he's like frantically running around, and like at one point he runs by Is it Taritza?
Taritza.
Taritza, and he's got like a sealed water bottle in his hand. Patura?
Is he like giving it to me?
Yeah, like holds out this water bottle like Patura.
All right, I'll just grab the water bottle. Thanks.
Like he just keeps on running up towards the cockpit to like get up there before the ship takes off.
All right, we're
Just
gonna get on
kinda
the list.
Hold the water bottle, and I just kind of chuckle at this Brodian who is just the most. He's made an impression because it's amusing. Just kinda chuckle.
Fair enough. Vrainov, anything from you? What do you do while they're getting ready and talking to?
Bewilderment and how we got even this far. I'm gonna go find my cabin and see if I can
Just go
find a
claim
way.
one?
I'm gonna go find a cabin and I'm gonna go see what sort of things are available to me in my room.
Okay, it's a stand like so. This is going to be you kind of look at a couple of them just to make sure they're all the same. They are. You have two choices. You have like there's a crew cabin that's still well appointed for a crew.
I'd
cabin
like to
on a ship.
access the holonet.
All right, you go up to the holonet. You hit the button to kind of turn on the system, and you hear Sullust Inner Enclave Casino, serving the galaxy for the last 75 years. And the system boots up, and there's no connection. There's nothing.
Okay.
I come back over the intercom. Does anybody remember the name of the casino that's sponsoring the ship?
No idea.
Kakura
I'll tell you.
Casino.
Try to access the holonet. It'll remind you.
Fuckers.
I turn on the
List
nav computer.
Enclave something? I don't know.
Moving on. Fucking fuck my whole sheet up. God damn it.
It's only gonna get
You
better.
you put pop-up ads in the Star Wars universe. You better click on them.
Fair.
So
Nobody wants to ask him about the fucking.
I'm gonna
Sullust-
I'm gonna ask him now. I'm like, so over the intercoms, whatever. Hey, Dice, just a quick question. What's the deal with the holonet?
That is a great question that has a great answer.
That you don't have the answer for.
Dice, I want you to make a mechanics check. 2 purple.
Oh, it's all about the holonet.
2 purple. Success.
All right, you've accessed the holonet before. You know where it is on the ship. I was hoping you didn't, and could be like holonet.
I pushed the "It's my birthday" button.
You haven't found that yet. That's a 5 purple.
Please
I-
tell
I-
me that
I flipped
Greyrock's
the,
doing that just randomly.
I do flip the aromatherapy diffuser under the console though, and now the entire like general center area of the ship and all the cabins are smelling like cucumber eucalyptus.
I mean,
So
that's,
are you
that's
asking him why the holonet isn't connecting, or are you asking him why
Correct.
there's app? Okay.
no, why it's not connecting outwardly. but just this ad.
So you would know, assuming you've spent some time on your ship since you've been on planet, and you would know whether you want to tell him this or not, is your choice dice. Basically any comm link that isn't military in origin is being jammed. So any connections to the local holonet is being jammed by the Imperials. That might be why there's a big ass fucking Star Destroyer over there.
I respond into the intercom. Well, it's a couple of things. First of all, SoraSub Live subscriptions are a ripoff, and they're really expensive. It's $15 a month to use the hardware you already have, and that's crap, and I don't want to pay for it. The second thing about it is the starship above, the comm officer, we were playing cards. I might have made fun of his hat. He didn't like some of the things that I did. I might have shot him. It's a thing that happens. And he decided that the transponder code of every civilian ship in the sector probably shouldn't be able to connect to things. I'm working on it.
I think I'm done inquiring now. Thank you for your time.
I just make sure your tray table is locked in its closed and upright position.
Have you dealt with the Empire before? In any kind of has your character ever dealt with the Empire in a policing authority kind of way?
Who are you asking?
Which one of us are you speaking?
You. Sorry, I'm asking Rainoff.
Mildly, but no. Like I would go lean more no than yes. Okay.
So what I'll do is make a knowledge. Do you have core worlds?
No.
No. Just make a knowledge core worlds check. 2 purple. Add a blue as well.
Success.
So this is something that you saw on board your mother. Like you didn't have access to the full holonet, but you had access to comms on your ship before it was boarded. You would have noticed then, and this might be the same thing, that all civilian communications were jammed.
Okay.
So as you were being boarded, you obviously would have called for help. No response, static. This might be the visual version of that.
I'm going to just lament my life for a little while quietly in my room while I'm on a luxury vessel when I really want to blow up that Star Destroyer.
That's fair. Blowing up Star Destroyers is fun.
Turning it on and off again.
God, don't do that, please.
I just turn it off. Turn the Star Destroyer off. Just
Why
off.
Why did Greebot get so small on my screen? What happened here?
Because he clicked away and did a thing, I'm sure.
Oh.
No?
Yeah.
No? Okay.
Don't shake your head, you rodent.
No, I have Skype on my Chromebook, and it's like I'm not doing anything else on it. I haven't touched it. I swear.
You have clearance to leave. The Spaceport Authority believes you are there to investigate and the guy kind of said it, the theft of their patrol craft. Anybody want to do anything? Obviously, I believe Dice is piloting. So, where's everybody else at? You're in your room. We've covered that. Where's Teresa at?
Behind a Post-it note.
Behind a Post-it note. That's fair.
I'm probably still watching. If Dog's still playing with the buttons, I'm probably watching him in amusement because that's funny. And
I'm actually going up and down the hall, just pushing all the panels as quickly as I can to get the ad to play.
You're hearing
to see if I can break it.
Xbox is setting everything back the way it's supposed to be. No, not that one. No, Smith, fix this. Who's that?
One of the displays in the cockpit kicks on, and I'm starting to get scroll lock warnings from the hallway that somebody's hitting the buttons too many times. And it's I'm noticing the engines are getting sluggish because all of the screens are trying to turn on and off multiple times.
All right, what I'll say is this. Anytime you guys turn on a major system that has any kind of it's not you don't go to the hyperdrive and be it's an ad plays. But if it's an interactive system, if it's a computer system that's meant to yes, these ads are playing. This ship really wants you to know where it came from and it wants you to, you know, be thankful and just put that bug in your mind to go to the Sullust
What's
Inner
that?
Enclave,
What's that bug again? Yeah.
the Sullust Inner Enclave Casino and Resort and Spa.
Bar and grill.
Oh, it's
Every
a
now and then
resort
you get
And
spa.
bar
every now
and
and then,
grill.
whenever you turn on the hot tub, you get the spa ad. When you go and you turn the lights out in the in the cabins, you get the ad for the resort wishes you a full and restful sleep. Good night.
How far
Just
is
a question
how,
about these ads, real
Solace
quick.
is pretty far from here.
how far is the hot tub away from the panels that are in the like the door of the hall? Like
It's in a different completely. You're not going to be able to like throw water at them. from the
no,
hot
no, no.
tub.
I wanted to reach and hit 3 of them at once, like one with a leg, like push a button with like a tip of my
Just like
boot,
Twister.
and like push the others. Like I'm trying to entertain my. It's like Doggo has. He gets serious when like
There
it's
is
business
a-
time, but he's got the child like mentality.
There is an extensive entertainment library on board the ship.
Are there ads every 15 minutes?
He watches Disney movies
I'm
like a
there.
good Star Wars character.
I
Okay,
am
so
there.
as before we get to that, Becca is as the highest. Well, I don't even know if the highest intelligence, but my please for the love of God, my saving grace. What do you do?
I'm not gonna give that to you. No, so G has been like, well, I can see he's spared no expense, and he's like messing around behind the bar or whatever, and finds the controls for the sound system, and now there's this really loudly playing smooth jazz that they can't really figure out how to turn off.
Okay, yeah. So it starts out as smooth jazz, and eventually, once Doggo finds access in the music library, it turns into Cy Snoodles and the Max Rebo Band on repeat.
Doggo's just dancing around the ship now to it. He's in his own little world.
They have cut off
Like to
audio
where
controls
is
to the
that like
bridge.
as this like after this the music changes and he's like "Busca patapuna," and like but then he's like asking do you speak Rhodian? Papuna?
Who's he asking?
G.
Of
I'm
course,
gonna
I
leave
speak
that up.
Rhodian.
There you go.
Bada pusa. And then he just goes running off to like fix some more panels that Doggo messed up.
Make a note of that if you would in SW
Yep.
sheets that you have chosen to speak Rhodian. I'm going to give everyone the choice on whether or not you want to understand him or not. Let's put it
I
that
don't.
way.
I go halfway. What if I only
Okay.
understand him half the time? I'm not.
That's
fluent.
fine. Yeah.
To be fair, I only understand what I mean half the time. Like if
So you're
it's not
looking at about a quarter
it's
understanding. If he only understands half of what he says and you understand half of that, it's a quarter. Yeah. I know
Not
math.
a single word.
Okay.
Like
Not a word.
Fair enough.
Just
All right.
fascinated.
It's
I don't
more
think,
fun
uh,
that way, I think.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
gonna be a lot of charades. Let's put it
I
that way.
sure am gonna act like I know what he's talking about.
Yeah, fair. Yeah. All right, cool. You want to take off, and what do you guys want to do?
Well, I don't have access to the HoloNet. I don't have my own personal data pads. There's not really a lot I can do, so I kick my feet up in my bed.
You haven't taken any strain yet, right?
None.
just
Start pulling away from the starport.
Where do you go?
Up.
Okay.
good start.
Banca Suasana? He's asking Ed something.
Bathroom's down, third door on the left.
Baduna, basa. He like starts messing around on the computer. Does this ship have like scanners that we could use to try to like locate this ship we're looking for, or like some other
What's up,
mechanism
dude?
for that?
Got basic like navigational scanners. Nothing too intricate. It's you enough to not hit other ships in the area and enough to kind of like get from point A to point B. So you don't have anything that's really going to be accurate for like searching, if that makes sense.
The Mark 1 eyeball is much more accurate anyway.
Lol. All right. So you I mean, the starport's like, peace. You guys go. You leave the atmosphere. You're getting up into orbit. Comes on. The first half of the conversation, or the first half of the message, is cut off again by another ad from the Sullust Inter-Enclave Casino, and then it says, I keep forgetting the name of the ship. I'm sorry.
The Starlit
No.
Dream.
Vessel registration. So the Dream. Please state your intentions. We see your transponder as local space authority investigatory vessel. This is Imperial Star Destroyer Venerator. State your course and let me think about this. State your destination and reason for being
State your intentions.
around.
I'm sorry, I don't speak basic.
Jesus fucking Christ. If you get everybody killed in the first fucking session, I swear to God, I'm gonna make you come back as a Kawakian fucking monkey lizard performer.
Monkey lizard.
Ugh.
Hey, I come over the comms in response and say, anybody get the name of that ship that just came out of here?
All right, comm officers, like, do you mean the patrol vessel that left the planet 12 hours ago?
Sure sounds like I do.
Oh, yes,
like-
indeed. I do.
Hold on. Cuts off. You hear the outro ad. Sullust Inner Enclave Casino.
Can while we're waiting for a response, can I, like I'm sitting at a computer, right? Can I see if there's a way to change
No,
the
Kirby.
preferred
You
language
can't do that.
for the entertainment systems from Common to Rodian? Is there like a language selection menu so that we get these ads in Rodian instead?
Make a 3 purple computers check.
We lost Kirby, and
Oh,
Becca is
no.
now a
Oh, Becca's
third
fine.
of the screen.
Oh, Becca is a third of the scroll. Shit.
Oh my
Reebok
God.
is gone. Doggo is gone. Teresa is gone. Becca is like, this is my street.
You said 3 purple?
3 purple.
Okay. I will make this computer check while you make that computer check. Meh, meh, meh.
Yeah, what just happened?
Either
You're muted there.
either Kirby disconnected or he turned off his cam, which I don't know if he remembered that turning off your cam is a problem.
Did
7 in the call.
did yours fuck up?
It says
All
he's
of
in
your
the
stuff?
call.
Yeah,
Actually,
mine's pretty jacked. But he might have just dropped. Let me text him.
Hopefully everyone can at least still hear everybody.
I would, but I don't speak basic.
What was the result of your roll?
2 failures. So yeah, I think he did not find that setting anywhere.
Can he have accidentally made his seat like really far from the console, and so it's really difficult to do stuff now?
Like, wait, what? I like
Did not.
accidentally myself.
You matter of fact, you have not found any kind of like overarching settings like menu structure. There's no 3 dots anywhere on any fucking system. Does that make sense? What I'm saying? Like, you
Yes.
can't find fucking settings.
This
Like,
is
there's
not
no
Burger King. You cannot have it your way.
This is not Burger King, and you cannot have it. All right. So after a while, the Imperial officer comes back. The comms officer is like, Starlit Dream. We tracked the ship as it came out. As far as we know, it headed to the first moon. We haven't tracked it beyond that. We just want to reiterate: you have clearance to exit to kind of fly around the system, but if you exit essentially our AO, our operational authority area, then we're gonna send a squad of TIE fighters after you and blow you the fuck up. So don't do that. You have the authority you have limited authority in the system, limited clearance, but don't exceed. And they basically plot on your navigational array. This is where you can exist, and it's basically the planet, both moons, and that's it. Like, you can't go much farther without incurring their wrath.
I click the microphone and say, "Sounds great. Thank you for the help. Catch me if you can." And I aim for the moon, and I hit the engines.
All right. You don't really notice anything happen, like other than you start headed for the moon. It's gonna take probably about an hour to get over there.
Like, you're gonna send type pushing the intercom so he can hear.
Hey, hold
TIE
tight, I'm
fighters
fixing
have
stuff.
hyperdrive now? Is that a new thing?
Punta Dora, Busa Sura. I saw one with a hyperdrive. It's really big. It looked right at me.
Send a squadron of TIE fighters after us after we've already hit hyperspace?
Well, I mean, so outside of the game, yeah, you could probably get away from some TIE fighters by going to hyperspace. They're not going to be very happy with you.
Yeah, their HoloNet is not down.
Oh, I don't want to keep this ship that bad.
Their HoloNet is not
I'll
down.
just be like, hey, next system with a Star Destroyer in it. I need you to get this really ostentatious yacht.
You guys have a level of authority, right? Like that authority is extended by the planetary authority, which they recognize to an extent. They're basically warning you against overstepping those bounds. That's all. They've got their operating instructions, what they're supposed to say to people, how they're supposed to act. They've said that. They've said their
You talk to customer service.
Yeah. You basically talked to Tier 1. Tier 1 said, don't fuck around.
I would like a $100 credit on my bill, please.
It's going to take about an hour to, and it's not a difficult check. Let's do a one purple piloting space check to make sure you don't run into the planet.
Okay.
God.
Or that you actually aim for the right moon. Let's put it that way.
I mean,
We'll say it's been about an hour at this point.
Moons can be hard to hit from time to time.
Yep. And a matter of fact, we're going to use this flight time, I guess, to take a small like bathroom break, figure out where Kirby went, and grab a drink. I think.
Cool.
I sent him a
Sounds
text.
good. Intermission time.
Cool. Intermission. We'll be back in a few minutes, everybody, and we'll see you then.
Be right back.
I did. Hey, I'm fixing my stuff real quick, and then I'll be right back. Sorry about dropping the image.
Yeah, that's good. Okie dokie then. Well, hold on. I think that means Kirby joined back. That back on. Nope, he's not there.
It's just on audio.
All y'all are suspect as fuck, especially that pilot guy.
That pilot guy.
Especially that. Everything about this mission reeks. Going good. I don't know what all this oops shit is about, but it's good. I don't know. I'm super sus of like all these circumstances. Like we have a ship, it has no weapons. We chase some guys. We know nothing about the guys, and we can't see the security footage, like what they look like. Oh, I saw what you said it was. It just hurts my brain. It's like too much. It's like so extra. I don't like typing that much. But yeah. Everything about this mission stinks.
All right. So while we're on intermission, Chow, you're there. Can you hear me, by the way?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can hear.
How are things going? Give me like the intermission, like good, bad, what sucks, what doesn't. Okay.
Hold on, I'll give you my input in a minute.
I mean, I'm having fun, and it's my first time, so I don't really have anything to compare it to.
We're about like I kind of was hoping we'd be a little farther along by now, but me just needing to push things further. I don't see. Why don't I see Chal or not Chal? Kirby.
Because
He's
he's
not
not
there yet?
videoed.
Okay. Well,
It's just audio at the moment.
that makes sense. Yeah, the combat part is coming up soon.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no! Me and my freaking little blaster pistol. I'm just like barely a novice at. I missed my blaster rifle.
Oh, people are shrinking. Does that mean Kirby joined?
No.
Studio mode. Let's go back to this.
I have not done anything with mine, so I don't know why it's all weird.
Yeah, I've still got 3 people that are blued out on my end.
Well,
Becca is blued out.
those are
Oh, no,
people
there
with
she is.
post-it
Becca's back.
notes.
Yeah, I had
Yeah,
it.
which is weird because it's not showing the post-it note; it's showing like the blue background for the
Oh,
Skype.
I was seeing the post-it note. The only one that's
Oh.
blued out for me is Kirby, and it's massive on the screen.
Oh, it's probably his is like massive. That's what it is. Okay, got it. It's just like
Yeah.
off to the side, so it's covering everybody else. What time did I call that break? Right around the halfway mark. Not horrible.
Get myself right with Jesus real quick.
It's going to make the Sullust Inner Enclave Casino a little bit easier to deal with, I think.
You need a button for that, dude. Seriously, I'm sitting here like, just have it come on and be like,
I don't know
Sullust
why.
Inner Enclave Casino, Resort
No, then
and Spa.
then we won't call
I
for it
don't
nearly
like-
as much because it's too easy on
Yeah.
him.
I don't know why I did that to myself. What was I thinking?
You were trying to fuck with me, and you played yourself. Congratulations.
What was I fucking? I told you it was going to happen.
Listen. You want to play games with Bear and Kirby? That's your choice.
That's fair.
You will reap what you sow.
I just love how Kirby Doggo's just like hitting all the buttons just because he wants it. It's great.
I'm drawing the line at him sticking his head out the window though, because that's gonna be a problem.
That's not going to end well. Yeah.
Yeah, when I saw him hitting all the buttons, I wanted to be in like a self-contained environment. That's why I left. Like, I see where this is going. Somebody's getting airlocked. I'm out.
I haven't looked at the schematics in a while. I don't remember. Does the Luxury 300 have a basic medical suite?
I'm not going off schematics for like, I'm going off what it says in the book, and I don't think it said so. But you're going to have like basic medical
Will do.
equipment, like med packs and stuff.
I won't because I'm not combat
As
oriented.
part
So
of-
like I'm just kind of.
It's part of the basic premium package that you get when you enroll in Sullust Inner Enclave Casino
Jesus fucking
Resort and
Christ.
Spa.
To upgrade your medical suite, please pay for the Platinum expansion that comes with 1 medical bay and free service for 1 month.
Let me look.
Prices.
So the way I've always looked at it as provisions are the required equipment in order to rest and recover and survive, right?
And it has 1 month of provisions. I remember that from the book.
And that's accurate up till now. Like all the money that you've lost and spent has been to keep the status quo on the ship until today, if that makes sense. Still have to figure out how to turn off that fucking app too.
I mean, will I be able to roll a mechanics check just to like, I don't know, maybe one day turn that off?
That one's going to be
Right
more.
now, I'm too amused.
But yeah, right. The mechanics will come into play with this, I'm sure. Fuck.
Shake.
Oh,
change the
I thought
ad.
that was a Lucra Hulk. I'm like, why the fuck is a Lucra Hulk in this book?
Welcome back, Kirby.
Thank you.
Mr. Kirby. Yep, there you go. Came back smaller. Wait a minute.
Give it time.
Yeah. What I am going to do, though, is put him at the bottom of all the sources. I wish I could be like, these sources all have equal, like, level. You know what I mean? So it didn't, like, cover up the rest of them. See what happens. So we're just waiting on Tujin.
Yeah.
Yeah. He doesn't understand what's going on anyway.
Oh God. What did I just do?
So you guys don't think that the Soros sub's going to be an acceptable smuggling vessel?
I mean, I don't know about smuggling. I'm a bounty hunter.
I
you
have-
know,
It's a
that's our-
birthday.
I have significant
Speaking of
reservations.
Discreet.
Well, for those of you that have concerns about the ship, now is a perfectly acceptable time to keep that shit to yourself.
Why I haven't brought it up?
It has a hot tub.
It has a hot
Yeah, we're overlooking the fact that it has a hot tub, and the cabins all smell like eucalyptus cucumber now. It's
Did-
lovely. It's relaxing. The shag carpet is delightful.
Did
It's
you
not-
win it at the casino? Is what I want to know. Was it won
Yeah,
at the
oh,
casino?
Oh, let's not
Was
have
it
this-
like
let's
the
not have this
jackpot
conversation
prize?
right now. Let's not have this conversation right now. Let's wait till we're back.
What?
Which we're going to give Tujin one more minute to come back, and then we're going to come back. I've lost it. What page is it on, Ed? I could ripped it out, probably.
And never gonna let this happen again.
Fucking pop-up ads. It is page 262 of the core book.
Thank you.
The OTE.
This didn't go far enough. There it is. Okay. So you have a class 2 hyperdrive. Backup is class 14. You have a Navicomputer. So you don't need an astromech. Sensor range is very short. One pilot, one co-pilot engineer. Encumbrance capacity is 100. Passenger capacity is 10. Consumables 1 month. Customization of hard points. Yours is 3.
Right.
Weapons, none.
Well, you know, as long as you outrun the bolts, you're fine, right?
All right, here we go. It is a slow motherfucker, though. Let me put that out there. So it's got a. All right, let me transition this. Okay. So we're back. We need to resize Kirby, I think, because he's not snapping back to his normal size. Here. You know, looking like the Gordon Fisherman. Love it. Why did I just stretch you? That's weird. I don't want to do that. That's right. Okay, cool. Hey, Tujin's back. All right, cool. So we've just been talking a little bit about the ship during this flight. Just so anybody who is watching is aware, this is what you get with the luxury 3000 source of yacht from the Sullust Inter Enclave Casino Resort and Spa. It's a very slow ship. It's got a speed of 3. It is got a silhouette of 4, so it's not a very small ship. It's got 1 defensive shield to the front. It's got 1 defensive shield to the aft. I've got pizza, and it's got 30 hit point threshold. It's got a 12 system strain threshold, 1 armor. No weapons, 1 month of supplies, 10 passenger cabins. Yeah, that's about it. So that's what we're flying around in.
I mean, for the record, the YT-1300 also is a 3-speed, so let's keep things in perspective here before we start making fun of the ship too much. And the YT-1300s that everybody has named and know about, none of them had a hot tub.
Thank you, Zach. I'm fixing it. Appreciate it.
They had turbo lasers. Oh, sorry, not turbo lasers. Quad laser cannons.
Get yourself my pizza.
They had quad laser cannons. That's true. But do you know what quad laser cannons aren't? Relaxing. After a hard
rather
day,
be-
I
slug
would
on
argue
guns.
differently.
I'd rather be weighed down by a ship with guns than a ship with a hot tub that has a clogged drain.
And how do you not find shooting TIE fighters down cathartic?
I want everyone to know my dog just took a bite out of my pizza. And
I'm just
Yes.
stuck on like the physics of it. Like what happens when you're maneuvering in atmosphere in that hot tub? Is it like
It needs to be drained first. That's why Gulag was desperately trying to get it to drain before we took off.
It's no,
The
no.
the artificial gravity goes out. Bad things. Bad things. This is not meant to be in stressful situations.
It's a luxury yacht.
It's a luxury yacht. All right. So, does anybody want to do anything? Have any kind of interactions before we get to the moon that the Imperials have sent you to?
I come over the intercom and I say, "We've now reached our cruising altitude on Park to the moon that we were told about by that Imperial who was a little bit snippy. You are now free to move about the cabin, and please remember that atmospheric physics and hydropathy don't work particularly well. So if you're going to get into the hot tub, I would recommend keeping your swimming time under 45 minutes. If you cramp, talk to the droid."
All right. So this moon is named Cora. All right. The terrain on Cora, as you can, you guys would probably, hopefully, have looked into maybe this on the way there. It's very resembles a lot of a desert, mountainous
If we look
terrain.
into anything, all we got was an ad.
You have a library. There, you can't access the internet, but you have download. You have what was the old school fucking like encyclopedia? You
Encyclopedia Britannica.
No, not the book one. The one on the fucking computer.
Encarta. We have Encarta.
Encarta. You have Encarta, yes. And yeah, all right. So I mean, it is what it is. You can't communicate with the outside world, but you can get information.
Come here, library. That's all.
if you
On
can
the
see all
Oh,
from around the pop-ups?
All around the pop-ups, yeah. You
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
fucking close them.
I had enough of the spyware. I'm good.
It's a very desert terrain, very thin atmosphere. It's enough to breathe for most sentient, so you don't have to wear any kind of apparatus to be on the surface. As you kind of come into orbit of the planet or the moon, it's not a very tiny moon, so it's going to take a little while to kind of look around, right, and see what you can find. What do you want to do, pilot?
I'm gonna head towards the ground. Now,
Okay.
I want to. We have short-range navigational sensors. I would like to start trying to listen to like local communications chatter to
Okay.
see if I start like channel hopping, trying to see if I can hear anybody talking. Is there any sort of like local landing authority on the planet, or any sort of like space interlock system?
It's an uninhabited moon, so there is no like it's got an atmosphere like you could exist on the surface, but there's no reason for anybody in the Arcana system to do so. There's no industry, no nothing.
Do we have any way to potentially have one of our mechanics inclined people modify the short range sensors to look for particular temperature differentials? I turn to the mechanically inclined people. Is there any way for our mechanically inclined people to modify our short-range navigational sensors to be able to scan for particular temperature differentials, like the heat of a ship that would have been landed, the residual heat from reentry?
Give it a try, at the very least.
Sorry.
Okay, we
Is that-
have
It's the stream,
how many
so-
people have mechanics as a trained skill? Okay.
One or two, maybe.
Who's the second with mechanics? I have
Oh,
Teresa.
no,
Holds up a screwdriver even though he has absolutely no idea how to use it. But
Okay. Okay, so Teresa, if you would like to make a check to kind of play around with the sensors to make them a little bit more powerful, maybe look specifically for temperature differentials, on the surface, that kind of thing. That's a name I haven't seen in a while. What's up, man? Sorry. Go ahead and make I'm going to say a 3 purple mechanics check, and I'm going to give you. Actually, I'm not going to give you a blue because you have an untrained Greedo trying to fucking assist you with it. And he's just literally over your shoulder. And I want you to do this while she's making the roll and just being like pointing at things with his screwdriver and be like, "Bah, bah."
Busa. Para bukana, busa pura.
Yeah, 3 purple.
Okay.
Makanki.
All right.
3 purple?
Mira,
Is that
busa.
right?
3 purple.
Is that right?
Oh, good roll. Oh yeah. Roll another purple for me.
Oh, you said 3 purple?
Just 1 purple. Yeah.
Oh, just 1. Okay. My bad. Cool.
2 success. That's good.
Yeah, 2 success. So you're still fine. So while you're not able to really, it's such a like the atmosphere doesn't expand just so far. So there's only so much friction that would happen before a ship was in the atmosphere, and depending on how fast it was moving, it might not have had a whole lot of friction at all. But what you do during your scans, and as you're doing this, and you're kind of still in orbit, you do see that on the surface there is something kind of like a little dot that is considerably warmer than the surrounding area. And lo and behold, it's a ship. And lo and behold, it seems to be near a mountain range on the surface of this moon. And it matches the profile of the ship that
Okay.
these idiots took.
The patrol vessel.
The patrol vessel. The armed patrol vessel, yes.
The Greenback's like, Buna, Buna, Pisa. And he like goes over to Dice, like, Buna, Buna. Boom!
The
Yes.
boxing the boxing ring doesn't get installed till Tuesday.
She probably understood at least a couple words that Reebok said. And she's probably just very amused because he's all like tripping out with the screwdriver versus. I think I found it.
All right, where are we looking?
You said mountain range, yeah. Is that mountain range like close? Is it the only one, or is
You
it
guys-
like?
You're in orbit. You saw the ping when you guys were literally right over top of it, if that makes sense. Like if you're scanning the planet from orbit,
Mhm.
you're scanning what's directly underneath you. So as you guys are passing and your passive scans are kind of going over and you're sitting there tweaking with the dials and you're trying to like get the temperatures to show up and get it to show up and have a brighter contrast of degrees, eventually you kind of hit that sweet spot of like, and this thing just kind of pops up. And you kind of see as your scan wave kind of goes over it, it's like boing, nice little bright ship. And then you kind of zoom in, you're like, oh, okay. Like you see the dot, and then you zoom in. Okay, it's bigger. Oh, look, that's a patrol vessel.
Hey,
You
it's our patrol-
successfully find the patrol vessel.
All right, and will I be able to take the like the coordinates of the scan, just pass it
Oh,
over
yeah.
to him?
Yeah. You can be like, it's there, and he can go to it if he wishes.
It's right there.
I reach up into the console and I turn one of the knobs all the way to the left and say I'm engaging the stealth system. What I'm actually doing is turning down all the cabin lights really low.
Okay, so all the cabin lights come down.
I want to find a. Okay, so I sort of like, since these people helped me find the things, seems to me we got a couple options for the approach here. We either have the quick and dirty that puts us down on top of them as soon as possible, or we do a low and slow, try to sneak up on them, hide, get a little farther away. Now, it's an armed patrol vessel, and I am one of the best pilots this galaxy's ever seen, but it is a constant bearing, decreasing range situation, which means that there's only so many places I can juke to before they're going to start having, a big fuck you ship in their face to hit. So I am personally in favor of the sneak up on them approach. But y'all, you bounty hunters, you do your own thing.
Do you call a meeting or because we have a Bothan taking a nap. We have
He's listening.
a
I'm over the
Clantunian.
loudspeaker.
Okay.
Trying to
This is your captain speaking. We have found our quarry down on the planet. Would someone please find the dog and make sure that he hasn't soiled the carpet? After that, we have a couple of options, and then I go over my room.
If there's one thing this ship isn't, it's sneaky.
No shit. I'm with the droid.
Yeah, I'd have to go with that slow and sneaky way.
Kirby, you are muted if you're talking to us.
No, I wasn't talking yet. So why aren't we there yet? And like, Doggo's ears are straight up, basically, like completely different demeanor, cracking knuckles.
Okay. I like it.
Nah. Griebach is like checking his blaster, making sure it's like, it's gonna work when he pulls the trigger.
Gotcha. So what I'm hearing is the votes are for the fast and hard approach.
Bakuta Basa, Padapuda, like land nearby, approach on foot.
There's
Probably.
no way they don't see it coming. No way. You said they have a patrol vessel, right?
You see a patrol vessel on the surface. Yes.
On the surface.
Yes. Why?
So they may not see it coming. Nobody's
Yeah.
on the ship.
I mean,
Yes.
if they're trying to hide, they're not going to be blasting away with active sensors.
Puda.
So, I mean, they are right at the foot of a mountain range. So I think it would be possible to cut through the atmosphere hard, put the mountain range between us and their cannons, and then land with close enough that there's still cover. They wouldn't get clear shots at us, and then we approach on foot.
I mean,
I don't know.
either way, you can't really approach it with a ship that doesn't have weapons.
Well, we got plenty of weapons. I got 2 on my legs. You seem to have 1 on your back. There's all sorts of weapons around here.
You gonna open the airlock and shoot out the window?
We have a dog that wants to stick his head out the window.
I have an
No.
idea.
Oh no.
Does that
I
model of
vote for the
ship?
slow approach.
Does that model of ship have cannons on top of it?
The patrol vessel?
Yeah.
No.
Right.
There's no like turret mounted thing on top. No.
Okay. So I have an idea. Best pilot in the galaxy. Take it down real low, right on top. I'm gonna open a door. I hop out and tell them hello. If you
I'm
get
bizarrely okay with this plan.
Puda Padasuna.
Reebok, you drive?
Panisa? Yes. Yep, he does.
We need to take that back with us.
He like pulls his blaster out. Padasuna.
I'm actually not thinking. I'm thinking that the tactical drop right onto the ship to try and take out whoever's guarding it, and then steal said ship isn't the worst idea.
I mean, that's a pretty good idea.
Padasuna Padapu Kaliwuska. Panapuda. Like they could run.
It's true. If we sneak up on them, it's much more likely we will catch the quarry before they take the ground.
But we take
That's
away their ability to fly, they can run, and we can still. We don't have to capture or kill them. We just have to get the loot. And if we take away their ability to leave, and they run, then we just grab the safe. They're not running with a 100-kilo safe.
That's assuming that they only have 1 ship on the surface.
Did we stop the scan at 1 ship?
You would have. So once you identified what you're looking for, the way I think about it is you would have kind of looked in the area around it. That's the only thing you see. You basically have a ship, you have a mountain range starting right next to it, and you have open and scraggly, open terrain kind of around it. You don't see any other technology from orbit.
Just food for thought. I'm here to do whatever you guys want. It's just food.
Bisa one, bisa bum.
We
Who wants
jumping.
to-
Sorry. Great.
Griebach stands on the sneak up on him.
Okay. So we have a sneak. We have the puppy wanted to come right down on him, right?
Mhm.
Orbital insertion. Okay. So 1 and 1. Where's Beckatron coming down?
I'm not real confident in this ship's ability to sneak, but I'll go with the group.
Well, it's 1 and 1 right now, so
I'm mostly non-combatant, so I have to defer.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the snake because it just makes more sense to me.
Right,
And it
2,
sounds
1.
like the combatants, 2 out of 3 of them would like
Yeah.
to sneak.
Okay. All right. So what I want you to do is make a piloting space check. You kind of know where it is. You know where the mountain range is. You can kind of see the angles. Let's call it a 2. You guys have been making this plan, so I'll give you a blue on it. A 2 purple. I'm gonna use a destiny point and make it a 1 red, 1 purple check. And what I want you to do is make a piloting space check, followed by a piloting planetary check with the same difficulty.
So I would like to have Griebach sitting in my co-pilot chair, because once we hit atmosphere, I've heard of his reputation that when we hit atmosphere, he's one of the best atmospheric pilots that's out there. So I want to get us through the atmosphere, and then I'm going to hand over for approach duties to him.
Now, so this isn't like a ship where you could just throw the piloting controls to another console. It would require you to get up and let him sit down. And while normally that would be okay, because you're trying to leave orbit and approach a fixed position unseen by anybody on the ground, that's not something you're going to have time to jump up, and I'm going to make you make both rolls. Does that make sense? Like, he can assist you with the planning of, like, this is the vector you're going to go. This is where I think you should go when you get in the atmosphere, but you're going to make the piloting check. He's giving you a blue for it.
Okay, so then I guess the question is what's the co-pilot station for, is my question, because it specifically says there's a pilot and a co-piloting station,
Right,
as well
so-
as an engineering station.
Co-pilot would be angling deflectors, would be an astronavigating while you're flying around, would be assisting the pilot, but the pilot is the one flying the ship.
Okay. So it's my piloting space versus a 1 purple, 1 red with a blue because he's assisting.
Yeah, and we're gonna put the red on the space one, not on the because it's 2 separate rolls. I don't want to use 2 destiny points, which we're at 4 and 4 now, so it's even. If you guys want to upgrade checks, yeah. So the red's on the space, no red on the planetary. Okay, that's the space. Do the planetary. Just 2 purple. Okay, cool. So you hit the angle perfectly, and you hit it in such a way that you don't leave any kind of a contrail. You're able to kind of flip the ship in such a perfect way that even the burn from the re-entry is hidden on the far side of the ship. Like, you literally skid the ship into the atmosphere so that, as you skid it, it's burning on the underside, but you're facing the canopy and the dorsal side of the ship sort of towards your target. So it would take a really keen eye to see that. and you're able to duck it down behind the mountains before you engage thrusters and you shoot forward to kind of close distance. Unfortunately, you break the sound barrier when you do it. So they don't see you, but they hear it. Possibly. You don't know. You know that you broke the sound barrier and you went, oh fuck, sonic boom. Right? You're not that far away from them when you do push forward, so you can reasonably assume where they are might have heard that. As far as the planetary goes, you're able to kind of swing that ship around just fine, and you're able to stay underneath the horizon, and you're able to approach. Are you approaching from like the other side of the mountains? You want to approach from like?
Yeah, I wanted to keep a mountain between us as much as possible.
Okay, so you're able to get right up onto the mountains. You're running as quietly as you can. What do you like? Do you guys want to park it on this side of the mountain? It's not a like. I'm sorry about the dog with the wubba. It's not a small mountain. You know what I mean? Like it's going to take you time to kind of climb over it. What do you want to do?
I mean, I feel like if we approach low and keep the mountain between us until the last minute, and then land in the nearest clearing to them, so that by the time that there isn't a mountain between us, we're flying like treetop level to go where we're going. Trying to be as inconspicuous as possible, but also not landing on the other side of the planet.
Okay. I like that. So you're able to kind of approach that mountain range without giving any visual indication of where you're coming from. And you're able to kind of skip over the range at a low point and then approach where you know the ship to be. You're able to get within, let's say, a couple kilometers of it before you find somewhere that you can put down. And you're reasonably sure that your, radar cross section of your ship has never been available to them to see, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Okay. And you land it. Done.
I flip those 3 switches, lower the landing bay ramp.
Okay. Decent pilot.
Best pilot in the galaxy, clearly.
Barasuda, Paduska, Skaliwanga, Manuna. Pre-Wax starts heading to the landing bay. To the door.
Everybody
Is there
use
an
the bathroom
ad
before we go.
that deploys with the landing gear?
Say again, sorry.
Is there an ad that deploys with the landing gear and the ramp and all that?
When you exit.
Yeah.
We hope you've enjoyed your time on the Sorosub luxury yacht, sponsored by the Sullust Interfuck.
You forgot Interfuckery Casino and
Brothel.
Resort.
What was it? Inter Enclave Casino Resort and Spa.
Bar, grill, and brothel.
And it's got a nice chime. It's like dun dun dun.
Bung 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 bung. You are now free to roam off the planet.
Yes. It says that. It says that.
All right, so I take the time to lock down the controls and enter in the passcode so that nobody can fire it up except for me, because nobody knows my password's password.
Yep.
Get up, follow him out, lock the cabin to the piloting to the cockpit, and start walking towards the ramp.
Okay.
Yeah, I checked my blaster pistol real quick, and then follow them towards it.
All right. At this point, if anybody does not want to bring equipment with them that they own, throw it into your the assets and resources tab on your sheet, and that'll be considered left in your room on board the ship. But this can help with encumbrance depending on what you guys find, that kind of thing.
What's an encumbrance?
Yeah, right. Well, some of them only have 7, not 13.
I mean, I kind of feel like the backpack might be helpful, but...
Well, if it's got jets, you might be Boba the Fett.
Jets, man.
And
Do you
if
bounty
might-
hunt for Jabba Hutt?
to finance your vet?
Not that. I'm not financing whatever we just exited. I mean, I'm not financing anything really, but
Yeah.
mean, it sure seems like that ship got you to this planet in one piece, and nobody saw a thing, as far as I can tell.
Saw a thing. Yeah. Like I don't know. Like, would a sonic boom be audible within the ship? Somebody who's worked in aviation might be able to answer that.
I think it depends on how far away it was when it happened. Like if it is in the upper atmosphere, 1,000 kilometers away, probably not going to reach them. But if it happened when we were approaching that mountain,
No,
then
us
it would-
inside the ship. Would we have?
Yeah.
heard it?
Would you guys have heard it inside the ship?
Yeah.
probably would have heard
Okay.
something. But the ship probably it wouldn't be bad.
No. But you guys heard. So as you guys came in and everyone's kind of like bracing for this maneuver, you guys heard like you heard like the whole reverberate. Let's put it that way. You guys wouldn't know what it was. But yeah, because of where you came down. I'm reading that failed roll as they would have heard it but not seen it, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So does anybody not leave the ship? Anybody's just like, fuck it, I'm staying in the hot tub? Okay.
Nope.
Cool. All right. So we
I'm ready to hike.
start. Yep, let's hike it. We're not gonna like do rolls for this. We're just going to say a certain amount of time appears, or a certain amount of time passes, depending on one check. So I want whoever has the best athletics to add a blue for the rest of the group, kind of having to carry them along with you. But I want you to do let's say a three purple athletics check to kind of get over this terrain, trying to be as quiet as possible.
3 purple.
Lasuna Saliwanga. And Gribot kind of leads away. I have 2 yellow and 1 green for athletics. So I think
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. But
What's 2
Jesus,
green and 1
3
yellow?
purple?
So that's his skill ranks. The yellow is how many ranks he's got in it. He's proficient.
Okay.
And then the green
and-
is
Not to dig too deep into this, but isn't moving silently a stealth thing?
so you're not trying to move silently within a given amount of time. Like you're not like sneaking 2 kilometers, if that
Nope.
makes sense.
I got you.
You're
That's
trying
fine.
to cover the
That's
ground.
fine. That's
Yeah.
fine.
you said 3 purple?
Yeah, 3 purple. Just because there's not a lot of cover on the way.
Come on, guys, I got this.
I pull out my flask.
Okay. So you guys are able to get close enough to where you're within, let's say, short range to the ship. Okay. You find some scraggly bushes that you can kind of hide behind and kind of survey the area. What you've noticed is that there's like a dugout path next to the ship that leads into the mountain range and is kind of like dug into it a little bit. And it kind of just ends at like a little bit of a cave opening. You can see light inside the cave, and you see 4 armed humans just kind of like walking back and forth from just kind of meandering around the area. There's no real pattern to what they're doing. They're just kind of walking around, just kind of looking kind of annoyed with life. They're wearing nothing special, just basic clothing and holding blaster carbines from what you can
You
tell.
said we're at short range to them?
You're at short range to the ship. I would say it's medium range to the cave opening. So at any given time, 2 of them are within short range to you and 2 of them are medium.
Well, my blaster pistol has medium range, so I can shoot any of them. I'm going to take a shot at them.
Just one, just wham, go, let's go.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. I want everyone.
Reebok just like...
All right. So Reebok gets to roll cool.
Reebok.
Everyone else gets to roll vigilance. And bear with me 1 second. At least one of them is a murder hobo, right?
What's our difficulty?
It's an
initiative.
initiative check, so no difficulty. All right, so brain off 4. Just the first one, G Unit 1. And you're going to get a bonus action for taking that first shot, I think. And advantages and successes all count as 1, right? If I remember right, for initiative.
So advantages are like tiebreakers. So think of them as like
Okay.
half if you want to.
Okay. So dice is 3. Doggo is okay. I see. Doggo. One. Teresa. Sorry. It's 1. It is 0, 1. I can't not say it like that. I feel so silly. And Vraynov is 1 with 3. And I will roll for the group. Bear with me. They are rolling vigilance, obviously. I thought you'd talk about it, so I didn't have their stat block up. Bear with me 1 second. Stat
Reebok has 1 willpower. We found the dude we're looking for. He's gonna shoot at him.
As soon as I see him draw the blaster, I want to dive into stealthy cover.
Okay, so the way this is happening, 2, 3, 4. So it's okay. So it's gonna be okay. All right, so they are at 3.
Ooh.
Where the fuck are my notes? There we go. Okay, so the way we're gonna do this is this. Griebach has literally, you guys have like, everyone's just kind of like looking out over these bushes. And you guys all see these 4 guys. You see that they're armed. They've got these blaster carbines. They're just walking back and forth. They're unaware. Griebach pulls out a blaster and takes a shot. He's going to get that bonus action. Go ahead and make that attack roll. Medium, like, are you attacking one of the close range or the short range or one of the medium?
Whichever one is closer, I guess. Short range would be what?
Short range?
1 purple?
Short range is 1 purple, yeah. So make your attack roll. All right, what's your damage?
It is a regular blaster pistol, so 6.
6, all right. That is, why are you guys all the same? There we go.
So, and the advantage, I would just like to use that to give a blue to whoever's going to act next.
Okay.
Like Reebok takes this shot and then like ducks down a little bit.
Smiling all the way. You're lucky you're hot.
I mean, I'm setting up my notes. Bear with me. Talk amongst yourselves for just a minute. I'm going to get better at this once I...
So how about that ship, huh?
Blaster fires whizzing by. What's that? Mananisa. It's a nice ship.
It's mirrored for your protection.
The Scala. I like the style.
John's expression right now.
Uh-huh. Tell me more about the casino and spa and resort.
Listen, you ever had their My Knock nachos? Spectacular.
My nachos.
All right. All right. So you did 6 damage, correct? Plus it's 6 damage for the blaster, or 6 with the added success.
It was 6. The blaster is 6, so it's 7 total.
7 total. Okay. So your shot hits one of them in the back, the closest one to the ship, the patrol craft. You can see it hits him in the shoulder, and you hear the grunt of like, and he just kind of goes and falls to the ground. He's obviously going to have an issue and have to take a maneuver to get back up, but it doesn't kill him. We're gonna say, yeah, he's going to up. Okay, so the initiative order at that point is they get to act next. For anyone that's not aware, the way a minion group works in this game is the more of them there are, the better they are at the one thing they want to do. Okay, So the reason why their initiative was 3 yellow is because it was the base of it was 2 green. With 4 of them, you upgrade it 4 times. So it's 1, 2, a green, and then a yellow for 3 yellow. As you kill them off, and it does happen quickly, they get worse at what they do. They only attack once, but they get to act next. So here's what happens. One of the ones in the back hears the shot go off, turns, sees what's going on, and immediately bolts for the cave. So that means one of them is now hauling ass very, very quickly for the cave. So let me make a note for that. The other 2 that are not prone on the ground after having been shot in the back are going to take a shot at Griebach, obviously, because he's the one who just let himself be seen. So that is going.
He's
to
also wearing a yellow jacket, so and he's very on a very drab-looking planet. Like, oh shit.
We're also going to, I think, upgrade that with another destiny point.
Like,
That sounds like fun.
Highlighter.
3, 4. Their attack is a. So that's 1. Since there's only 2 left to attack, it's going to get upgraded once with the blaster carbine. Upgraded twice because I did use the whatchamacallit, the destiny point.
Oh.
And you're at short range for one of the remaining ones, so that's 1 purple. Fucking hell. All right.
So we're fighting Rambo.
How much damage?
So that does. We're gonna say that does 9 damage plus 5. That does 14 damage.
All right. Well, that is more than I got, including myself. So, Griebach like gets shot times and just slumps to the ground.
Okay, so Grebo is now unconscious on the ground.
Is this a good time to go over the resurrection rules, or like anybody got a stim pack they can hit this guy with?
So I didn't even plan to look at this. Do you
like
immediately take a critical injury? What happens?
Yep.
This
Okay.
is like the scene in American Gods where the guy
Jesus
takes 1 step too close and then gets filled full of arrows on the beach.
Right?
Do you want to roll it? Do you want me to roll it?
I want you to roll it. So because you're gonna, you. Oh my goodness.
Did you just kill him?
They get a threat though. That's
Yeah.
like an advantage for me. So don't forget about
No,
that.
I'm not gonna forget that. Yeah, an advantage for you. This is why unconscious, bleeding to death on the ground.
Yeah, it's the advantage for you that it's
Ooh.
your blasters.
Shields failing, and I don't think that applies to me. So I think nothing happens.
Are you looking at the fucking ship one?
Fearsome wound. The target increases the difficulty of all presence and willpower checks by 1 until the end of the encounter.
It's 56. That's agonizing wounds.
Wait, what? Did I look at the wrong one twice?
Yes.
Yeah.
56 be rough, yo.
Oh,
The
I
target
see.
increases the difficulty of all brawn and agility checks
No,
by
I
1.
like the other one a lot better. So I think we should just.
Okay. So just make a mark that you have that, and then if you want to make a mark that it's 2 difficulty medicine check to cure. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. That is their turn. The 2. So you have 1 on the ground. The 1 on the ground is short. The 2 that were remaining that didn't bolt have just gunned down your Rhodian friend. You just see him riddled with blaster fire as he just fucking
Dark
slumps to the ground.
blood like oozing out of his mouth.
Can we use the ship as cover? Or no?
Yeah, you can use a maneuver to try to do that.
Okay.
Let's see who's next. So
Well, hi.
yeah, it's all of you guys. So
Hi.
let's go.
Hi. I would like to take the Togruta with me to the ship.
So you're like physically pulling.
No,
the
I'm
Togruta?
going to indicate to her. I'm like, hey, you and I, let's go to the ship now. We just watched him drop.
Okay.
So Yeah, let's go to that. At least go get cover at that ship. I want to see if you can get on that ship.
All right.
Okay. Okay, so you guys, the I guess the ramp or the access to the ship is facing the cave, so you're not going to get any closer to these enemies. Well, actually, you'd probably get into engaged with the one that's still rolling around on the ground. So you're kind of like running up to where he's lying on the ground.
Cool. Coup de grace.
Well, let me think. Hold on. Yeah, no, you are. You are. So the guy that he was at the ramp of the ship. You can go up. You're getting an advantage to attack on him. So your maneuver is to move towards the ship. You have not drawn a weapon. That costs a maneuver as well. So take 2 strain if you want to draw your weapon and be able to attack.
Sure.
Okay.
Two strain. No problem.
Same for you, Gar, if you want to do that.
Gar, if you're able, you might. I don't know what kind. If it's just like get on ship or get on ship and use roll, but control of ship should be. I'm going to try and tell you like we need control of this right now.
Yeah. Are you gonna like telling me?
I'm going as I draw my weapon to stab the guy that's already down.
Okay. All right. So
Okay.
I'm taking 2 strain.
So you do not need to take a second strain because you're not drawing a weapon. You're going to be basically going to the ship, and you're going to be doing a computer's check to try to get on board. We'll talk about that in a second. Let's do one at a time. Rainoff, you took your 2 strain for a second maneuver, correct?
Yep. And then
That's drawing your weapon. You've got your Vibro Kniffy out.
Mhm.
You're going to try and stab this one that's on the ground. So you are going to get a advantage to attack one that's prone. I believe that's the way it works, right? Oh, your advantage, Terry. I'm sorry, Tujin, is that once, or I should say, their disadvantage is that one of the blasters jam.
Hey, Lord, what's
It's
up,
going to
dude?
take a
Thanks for the
round for
sub.
them to clear. So
Sorry,
the
like,
next time
in
it
the
comes
middle of
around, only
combat
one
right
of them
now.
will be able to attack.
Sweet.
Attack difficulty, condition, engaged with range. Yeah, let's just say give it a blue.
Give it a blue.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Melee, yeah. And 1
Yep.
purple for engaged, I believe. Yep. Or is it 2 for?
I don't know. You tell me how hard it is to stab somebody who's blaster shot on the ground.
I do have 2 blues that I can give you as a degree.
Melee attacks, brawler melee checks are always 2 purple, but you get the blue for the MB round. So.
Okay.
I'll save mine.
Okay,
He
so
is the
damage
stab.
+2.
So what is the damage?
It's whatever your damage of your weapon is +2 for the hits.
Oh, okay, 3 damage then.
Your damage is only 3?
Yeah, it's only +1.
But it's +1, right? It says +1 on the
It
damage
says
modifier.
+1 on the damage
And
modifier.
then it means you add your brawn +1 additional.
Okay.
That's what the plus means.
Okay, so it's 5 then. If it's
Yeah.
2 plus
All right.
brawn plus 1.
Okay, cool. So with their soak being what it is.
I also have Pierce 2 and Vicious 1, if that is anything.
You add 10 to your crit rolls and you ignore 1 soak.
Beautiful.
Okay. So ignoring. Well, do you have to activate that? Don't you have to activate it?
Pierce.
I think Pierce says on a successful hit should just auto go through.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
there's like no special mode or anything. It's just the knife.
Yeah,
I
Pierce.
remember when we were.
Look at
Okay,
it.
it goes through. All right, I'll trust you. So you ignore 1 soak. That brings the soak down to 3. What was your total damage? 5.
5.
5.
I have my James screen handy for quick reference.
Perfect. I'm looking to see how much health he had left. Hey, guess what? As you run up on him, you kind of pull your knife out as like in full sprint as you're trying to like cover Gar, as you're like indicating to her, get to the fucking door of the ship, and you just like run past this guy with that knife in your hand, and you just slice him right up the back, and you just see him go like and just spaz out and just fall down dead, severing tendons and ribs. Just he is gone.
Don't
He's
fuck with Griebach.
Right?
It wasn't even
All right.
about him who shot him, but still, I'm real mad about it.
All right, so Gar,
Yes.
you have made it to the ship.
Mhm.
Raynov has indicated that he would like for you to gain access to it. When you get there, the door's locked. You're confronted with a fun little security pad. Would you like to try and break into it? What would you like to do? You have used your maneuver by getting to the ship. You have an action. You can also choose to take strain to get another maneuver.
What would I roll if I wanted to break into it?
Probably skullduggery to try to break. I don't know. Would
It
that be
depends on
computers or skullduggery?
Yeah, it would probably be computers unless you're gonna let her roll mechanics to like somehow bypass it, like mechanically.
Yeah. It kind of comes like for me, it comes down to like what they want to do. Are you going to try to like basically
Yeah.
hack the computer and trick it into opening, or are you going to do like criminal shit and bust the panel open and snip wires? That's
That makes
skullduggery.
sense. All right. So yeah, how do you want to try to break into the ship?
Well, my
It's locked. Let me put it
skullduggery
that way.
is like 3 green. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Computers is 4 green. My mechanics is like the big one, honestly. So, is there a way to mechanically do?
I would say you would have to first gain access to something mechanical, which would require a skullduggery check to kind of break into the compartment. I don't think that so it's going to be either
I would go
a
with the
skullduggery.
computers. Go with your computers.
I would probably go with computers because in order to get to the point where you can make a mechanics check, it's going to require you to first do a skullduggery check.
And logically, it makes sense. If you're good with computers, you're just going to jump into it and try to see if you can gain access. If you can't, then you would probably go to the next step, right? Like just logically.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I got it. I think I got it. The door's closed.
Can I take because I don't want her just standing there, without her weapon. So can I take 2 strain and draw my weapon while I'm about to do this?
Yeah, you can do that. Just keep track of how much strain you've got. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so computers. I'll roll for computers for this.
Okay. The difficulty is going to be a 4 purple.
See what happens.
Okay. I love this system and the way these rolls show up. All right, you absolutely fail to get into it. Like the door does not open. However, you are able to, through the control panel, access. You can't access the door controls or anything security related, but you're able to access the floodlights on the ship, and immediately the entire area just comes up bright. And because you and Vrainov are kind of like right there underneath it, it's not really affecting you, but the entire area around you is bathed in this massive amounts of bright light and blinds the 2 remaining guards that are there. So they're basically like, like they did not expect you to be able to turn the fucking lights on. They're going to receive a black on their next combat checks.
Okay. I tried.
Yep.
Keep trying.
Is there, just for future, is this ship, can I like shoot the control panel to like get to the mechanical?
You'd probably bust it though.
Maybe.
It is a possibility.
Okay.
It's like a coin toss. Is this gonna?
You
open
take
the
that
door
attack
or-
roll and roll some disadvantages. You watch what happens.
Okay.
All right, so let's move on in the initiative order. It's pretty much just players at this point. So who do we have left? We have G Unit, we have Doggo, and I think and we have Dice, right?
Yep.
So who wants to go next?
Okay.
Okay.
How far ahead of me are they?
So you have one that is in short range, and
Okay.
you have one that is in medium range. I'm going to say the one that's in short range is the one that after he gunned down Griebach, you see him kind of look down at his rifle and he's just like banging at it, like trying to clear whatever's jammed it.
I'm gonna run up to him as
You're
he's
gonna
banging on his rifle.
Okay.
I'm hauling ass to him.
Okay, so you use a maneuver to close the range from short to engaged. You're now in engaged range.
Yep. I'm not gonna pull my weapon. I'm just gonna start beating on him. I want to
Alright.
hit him. The first thing
straight up
to
brawl
do.
check?
Yep.
Just thwack him in the face. Okay, go ahead and make a brawl attack against 2 purple.
Okay, so for that, I'm going to look at this. Look at my brawl, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so it's a green and 2 yellow.
Yep.
And then when I roll, I get hit green, 2 yellow against how many purple?
2.
Purple's
So
the
those
fourth
of you that
one.
are
That's
melee
not blue, right?
characters, yeah, the fourth one is the purple.
Okay.
For those of you with melee or brawn characters, your difficulty, unless otherwise stated, is always 2. All right, so you hit with an extra damage from the extra success with an advantage spent. So if you look at the core rulebook and you go to page 206, or if you want to open up Gilded,
Yep.
and you go to the group notes, or no, where did I put that shit? The FAQ, campaign FAQ. Where did I? So where did
Okay,
I?
so
What
I
happens?
crit. Now what?
Yeah. Okay, and then it's my skill check succeeded. What happens? Look at that table, and it'll tell you. Never mind. I lied. I'm dumb.
Recover 1
It's not the crit
strain.
one.
Add a blue to the next active character's check. Notice a single important point in the ongoing conflict. Inflict a critical injury with a successful attack that deals damage past soak.
Do I not have that one up
Cost may
here?
vary. It's
Oh, what can I do with advantages? That's it. Okay.
it's table 6-3, spending results in combat.
All right, that was
So-
in the campaign discussion, or
The campaign FAQ up at the top.
okay.
At the very last one should be what can I do with advantages and triumphs?
Yep.
That'll show you a table of things you can use to spend that what I like to call the upside down puppy dog.
Gotcha.
As far as your damage though, so you're just using your fist, which is just straight brawn. So what's your brawn?
Hold on.
To his
That
face that
is-
isn't wearing soaking clothing.
Doesn't matter.
My
It
bronze a
ought
3.
to.
Brawn's a 3. So what you can do with that is you can kind of like in my opinion, you can aim a hit, like you can aim a blaster shot if you're trying to aim for his face.
Yeah.
So you have brawn of 2, you said?
3.
You have 3, so you're doing 4 damage. So what happens is, with his soak, with his clothing that he's got on, you come up and you can just kind of race up, and he's just looking at you. He sees you coming, and as you kind of get to him, you just kind of lay into him with this haymaker, and he kind of like doesn't necessarily drop the weapon. He just kind of takes it down to his side and tries to like almost block the hit with it. Doesn't successfully do it, and you connect hard with him. But because he kind of saw it coming, he kind of just you hear him make that grunt, and he kind of jumps back a little bit. You could tell it kind of hurt him a little bit, but that's all it really did.
Gotcha. But with that, I get to choose from this list, right?
You get to
What I-
choose from that list for the very first. Yes.
Doesn't he have to roll a D100 to find which crit happens?
He didn't
the
crit.
Then what list is he choosing from? Oh, what he's gonna do with his advantage. Gotcha.
Yes.
What if I did a activate critical hit for weapon?
So because your fists don't have a critical rate.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you would need you would need a triumph or like a certain number of the advantages. The advantages you only have 1 from your roll. So you would have like, what is it? The biggest one is like you can add a blue to the next allied character's check. You can recover strain. Recover 1 strain is an option. I don't think you've taken any.
Okay.
Notice a single important ongoing in the effect, or activate critical hit, which you don't have.
I want to
So-
notice a single important point going on.
Okay.
As I hit him.
As you run up and you run into the floodlights with they're behind you, and you being the perceptive puppy that you are, you notice that there's a lot more boot prints around you in this floodlighted area of this ground, this kind of sandy soil than 4 people.
Okay.
All right, who is next?
So G is next to Reebok. He is unconscious.
He is spurting blood out of his face.
I don't know how that works mechanically in this system, so I guess I have like a logistics question. Is it important that we help him now, or can it wait until the end of combat because he's already like out of commission?
Yeah, he's unconscious. Like, and as long as nobody comes up and shoots him in the face, nothing worse is going to happen to him. It's not like with like 5th edition where you have to like save him within a certain number of rounds and stuff like that. So you could definitely, poor Rodian, and move on.
Yeah, I kind of look down at him. You might live, and then I'm gonna run to try and like intercept the guy running into the cave.
Okay, so you're going to run after. You can use a maneuver. So he was at medium range. He's moving away from you. So you're not going to be able to catch him this round. But you can get to short range to him if you take 2 maneuvers. Like you're literally bolting past the guy that Doggo just came up and haymakered, and you're just gonna fucking bolt after the one that's running past. So it's gonna bring you to engaged with the last like unobstructed one. And he's gonna be like, droid. But yeah, if you want to run after him, like he hasn't reached the cave yet, so as long as you catch him next round, you should be good.
Okay, so I guess I want to run after him and draw my weapon so it's ready for next round.
Okay, so in that case, you're basically moving. So he's hauling ass. He's using both of his advantages to kind of get there, kind of deal. Or he's basically going from that to long range. You're going to move. You're going to suffer 2 strain to draw your weapon. You're at the same distance. He's still at medium range to you.
I thought he was at short.
Not if you're going to draw your weapon as well, because you can only get 1 extra maneuver.
But if she takes the 2 strain,
Yeah,
that's the extra maneuver. It's 2 maneuvers in the draw.
When I said he was at short, I was assuming she was using both maneuvers to move. Does that make sense?
so I'm using both maneuvers to move, and then I'm taking strain to draw.
Yeah, but you only get. Oh, you're going to not use an action this turn, is what you're saying.
Right.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah,
okay.
The running is my action. It's my move.
Absolutely. Okay. Terry, can you ever go over 2 maneuvers in a? Yeah, you can do that, right?
What?
Can you ever go over 2 maneuvers? I feel like I read somewhere that you can never do more than 2 maneuvers in a turn.
Not by taking strain. I think that there are like some
Feats
talent,
or
probably.
talents,
that
Okay.
Yeah.
But so you wouldn't be able to get the full 3 maneuvers, but what you could do is move forward 1, kind of like preventing him from opening the distance like that he's opening with everybody else, and draw your weapon, or you could move forward twice and still not have a weapon drawn. You can match him and not have a weapon drawn, or you can kind of lag behind a little bit and draw the weapon.
I'm still very confused.
Yeah, me too.
Well, think about it this way: if you have a guy that basically,
what's the point of the 2 extra strain then?
The 2 extra strain is if you want to do 2.
Oh, because a draw is a maneuver. That's what we're saying.
Draw,
Okay.
Unless you have the quick draw.
Okay,
Yeah.
I understand now. So
Okay, so 1 maneuver, I'm running after him. The second maneuver, I'm taking 2 strain to draw the weapon, and then I have an action.
Yes, and you can shoot
which
him.
would be shooting him.
Okay, so he is at medium range to you.
Okay, my weapon is medium.
Give me a second. Here, let me think. He was at medium range. He went first. He moved forward 2 to get to the cave. He's at long range to you, so it's an increased difficulty if you're shooting outside the range, right?
Yep.
Okay, so is it just an upgraded check, or is it? It's a hard. with an upgrade, or is what is it, Terry? Is it hard and then it gets upgraded if the blaster doesn't have that range on it?
If you're trying to shoot outside of your range, is that what you're
Yeah.
asking?
Yes.
I think you just add die per unit, like purple die.
I think that if that makes sense, you just go with it and look it up later.
Okay. What I'm going to say then is if you're shooting outside the range, we're going to upgrade one of the dice for each band you're shooting out. So it'd be upgraded twice. If you're shooting 2 bands out, you are shooting 1 band out. So it's a 2 purple, 1 red roll.
Okay, can I?
Would you like to use
flip,
a destiny point?
Yes, can I flip our destiny point to make that 3 purple red? Or actually, yeah.
Okay, so that would upgrade one of yours.
I thought you could upgrade one of your own or downgrade one of the opponent.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Is that if that's the case? That's the case.
So that's the roll, and it.
Yeah, that's fine. You've done it more often than I have, I promise you. Okay, so you do miss. Suffer. Go ahead and suffer 2 strain for the not the despairs, the
Disadvantage.
disadvantages, whatever they're called.
The not
Who's
goods.
left? The not good.
Dice.
All right, Dice. Finish this off.
I am going to use 1 maneuver to draw my primary weapon. I'm going to use suffer the strain to draw my secondary weapon, and I am going to close one eye and follow the guy who's running with both guns and attempt to fire with both weapons, with my right hand gun being my primary weapon.
Okay, so he is going to be. He was at medium. He moved 2. He's going to be at extreme range to you. Are you sure you want to shoot at him?
There's another.
Because you didn't
There's
move
another
forward
guy.
at all. Yeah.
The other guy isn't he currently being pretty much covered by Doggo?
No.
No,
So,
there's a third
there's
one.
a third. Yeah. There's a
There
third
were
that's
4
at-
guys. 1 ran to the cave. 1 is dead. 1's with Doggo. 3rd guy.
Okay, then I'm going to shoot at the 3rd guy who
All right,
is.
He is at medium range to you.
Yeah, my weapon's medium ranged.
Perfect. Go ahead and make your medium range attack, which is difficulty of, I believe, 2. Hey, look at that. Okay, so you hit with the first weapon. What's the damage?
Damage is 6.
6. Perfect. Bear with me.
We had a couple of people crit and add or had enough advantage to add blue die to the next person in line. Did the next person in line use the blue die, which I think would have been G Unit would have had a blue die on her roll.
Do you want to roll a blue real quick, and we'll see if it countered the 2 failures on your roll? G Unit.
Yeah.
Okay, so that would have taken 1 and 1. Yeah, it's take 1 of the strain back.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the Togruta can give 2 blues. Pack and stings.
Yes, but you did not choose to do that with your maneuver. So when you choose to assist or I think it's when you assist, right?
Yeah,
Is what it says. So when you choose to assist as a maneuver, you get 2 blues instead of 1.
Okay.
All right. So your hit does how much damage again, Ed? Sorry.
6 damage.
6 damage. Okay. So you wing the guy, but doesn't drop him. This is the one that hasn't been shot yet, so he's just like, and he kind of looks at you now. Is that the last of all of you?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. That last one is going to get to take a shot. Because you just shot him, Ed, he's going to be aiming at you. You are at medium range to him. I really hate that the icons for some of these things are all the same because I'm like, I have 4 of you windows open. I have to fucking click through all of you. His attack is going to be, because 1 left, 1 is dead, 1 is engaged, so it's going to be upgraded once. Okay. Okay. He hits you for a damage of 11.
The fuck?
Damn.
So I have
11?
three soaks, so I take 9 damage.
9 damage, yeah. Carbines
Wait,
hit
8
hard, man.
damage? 8 damage. 3 soak?
Yeah, 8 damage.
8 damage, yeah.
I just don't want you to die,
Um,
friendo.
So you basically you hit him, and your shot just kind of like it hits it hits him, and he felt it, and he's pissed. He doesn't like getting shot. Nobody likes getting shot. He kind of like stares you down, raises that carbine up, and just bam, and you just feel this thing impact your chest, and just, like that's gonna leave a mark, if you know what I mean.
Considering it took away 3/4 of my health, yeah, I feel like that is going to leave a mark.
Listen, I wanted to get
Two.
the bounty hunters in the group some carbines. My choices were give them blaster pistols or carbines. I'm regretting the choice now, but we were already past that point. Okay.
Decisions
Yeah,
were made.
so let me just ask you, as I'm like falling onto the ground and look up, do any of these have like thermonuclear weapons that I should be aware of? Because they're
No.
clearly better weaponized than we are.
Not these guys. No. We haven't seen what's in the cave yet. I mean.
All right.
Um,
So
all right.
I'd like to move in and assist on the break into the ship check this time around.
Okay. Are you trained in computers? What's your intelligence?
I think a 2.
Okay. You can. I'll allow it.
Look,
Let's.
you can either give me the if that's a no go, which is fine. If you're telling me my character would recognize I'm not going to be much help, I will do a
I would
fucking
say that, yeah.
combat roll over to the guy that just shot Bear, or sorry, Dice, and make another stabbing attempt.
All right, so you can do that. That's going to put your back to the one that's engaged with Doggo.
I
You
have
wanna do that?
I have faith in Doggo. I'm trying to get
Okay.
behind this guy while he's shooting Dice, though. I want to be.
Yeah, I don't like. So you're basically running directly at him, and he's looking in your direction. Like it's all a frontal cone, right? Yes, Dice is a little bit to your right, but he can see the ass end of the ship. He's blinded. Oh, I am so sorry. Give me 1 second, because I forgot that he needs a black on his combat check for being blinded. Never mind.
Okay, so while he's blinded, I'd like to sneak past him and stab him from behind in the kidneys.
I'll give you an advantage on the attack roll. So you get a blue for your attack
Get
roll.
a blue.
You've still got your weapon drawn, so it's
And
the
he
one
still gets
maneuver-
his black, right? He blind.
Well, no, it's there's no black on the he would have a black on one of his rolls, so he's not
Okay.
rolling anything.
Oh,
You're
right.
but you are going to
I'll
roll
take
against
the
2
blue.
purple with the blue. Yeah.
Okay. 2 purple. Actually, I think that's the same one I just. I missed, but I got some advantages.
Yeah, you got 3 advantages, so figure out how you want to spend those. So basically, as you run up to him, you kind of swing with your knife, trying to like distract you. But you saw him; he just shot your pilot. You swing, and he just kind of not really matrixes.
I'd like to
him, but
disarm him.
like to disarm him. Is
I'd
that
like to
a
disarm
option?
him. Yes,
Oh,
it
wow.
is.
Okay,
like to
so
disarm him.
your knife misses him, but you're able to kind of like hook it inside his grip of his carbine, and as you pull that back, that gun just goes flying off. And you just see it skirt like towards the ship. It's actually towards where I'll even go this far. It's towards where Tirza is standing by the ship. So a little Tirza, you see a little blaster carbine just come spinning and just like tumbling towards you. This guy is now unarmed. Who's next?
I think that's me.
Okay.
I'm still at the control panel that I failed at before, and we're still trying to get into the ship.
But you had
Mhm.
lots of advantages last time. Lots of them.
Mm-hmm.
So she spent her advantages last time.
I know.
Giving a
Just-
blue. Yeah, it's tough when you fail the roll with that many advantages. But yeah. I still say, if you want to continue to try it's not going to get any easier. Does that make sense? You're essentially trying to guess a password or guess the software enough to break through the password. If you want to continue to do it, that's acceptable.
Blow a force point.
What?
Use a force point.
There is
Destiny
that.
point?
Destiny point, yeah.
What would that do?
It's not for talking computers.
So a destiny point would turn your 4 green roll into a yellow and 3 green roll.
Okay.
Bear with me, I gotta refresh something here. But it would still be 4 purple. Unless somebody else that has computers trained is available to assist you.
Certainly not the fried Rhodian on the ground.
And
Deep fried Rhodian. All right.
we have 1 other person shot, 1's a medic, and 2 other people engaged. I think you're on your own.
I think so. We'll give it one good try with a destiny point. So you said, what does that do? That's 3 green and 1 yellow.
Yep.
All right, so we're back to 4 and 3, correct? 4 dark, 3 light.
Should be.
And you said 4 purple, right?
4 purple. Okay. You are able to you're able to get in. The doors come open. However, when you do, the lights go out, the floodlights. So it plunges the area into darkness. Now they've been on for a round, which lasts a not inordinate amount of time. It's not like, half a second. So people's eyes have kind of become adjusted to this bright light. So anybody that was engaged, we're gonna say Rainoff, Doggo, and the 2 guys that they're next to. Well, I'll include them as well, but they're gonna make a black on their next combat checks.
Oops. The door's open though.
Doors open.
The door's open.
All right, who's next? I think we have Doggo. You're next. If we're going in the same order.
I'm right up on this guy, right?
You went after this one. Is the one that's, give me 1 second. Yes, you're right up on him.
I want to pull my blaster and shoot.
Your blaster and shoot. Okay. You pull your blaster with your maneuver. He is at engaged range. If he is at engaged range, I believe with a blaster, you are rolling 1 purple against your ranged light attack, but you need to add a black dice. So 1 purple, 1 black.
All right.
Okay, so you're unable, like, your blaster shot kind of goes off. Obviously you're kind of like, fuck, it's dark all of a sudden. You don't hear a grunt. You don't hear him anywhere. You don't hear anything that indicates a hit. Well, we're gonna say, like, you basically just kind of shot from the hip a little bit, so the aim was just off just that little bit. But you do have the advantage. So how do you want to spend that?
I'll give the next person that blue.
Okay. All right, sounds good. Coming up on G unit, you charged after the really far guy, correct?
Yeah, the guy running into the cave. Is he still running into the cave, or has he done anything different this round?
Yeah, basically, if you guys aren't able to hit him this round, he will make it into the cave. Let's put it that way. And he is at what did I make you roll last time?
Long distance, I think.
Think long distance. So we're gonna say he's at extreme. You can close that down to medium with 2 maneuvers, but you had your blaster out already. So you can go extreme, long, medium.
And then
So-
I would
and
be able
then
to shoot him again.
Yeah, you could shoot him again.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. Suffer 2 strain for the extra maneuver to move. And then since you were in front, you're going to have a black on the check for the lights going out, but you get a blue from Doggo for his success or his advantage.
Would I be affected by the lights being a robot?
No, you would not actually. So you do not get a black for that. Thank you. GMs aren't infallible, people.
And it's 3 purple?
For medium, it is
Oh, if it's okay.
1 or 2.
Medium is my range.
2.
Okay, 2.
Hey, there you go. What's your damage?
Pew pew.
7.
7. All right. He gets hit. You wing him. You hit him in the back of the leg, and he just kind of stumbles and falls against like the door to the because you've kind of approached so far. You've now pretty much moved 3 range bands closer to this. You can see recessed in this cave, there's a blast door, or not really. I don't want to call it a blast door. It's more of just this ramshackle tin covering and a door. It almost looks like the entrance to a mine. And you just see as he's reaching for this door, you wing him, and this forward momentum just carries him into it. He's bam, just brains himself on the fucking door and falls to the ground.
Dead?
So he is
or
now
just down.
No, he's not dead. He's down. You basically tripped him up with the shot. Did a little bit of damage, but not enough to kill him. These guys had a lot more soak than I thought they should. For future reference. Who's next?
It's me, I think.
Okay, you are next. Okay, go ahead.
I want to use 1 maneuver to move to. Well, let me ask it this way: is there any covered anywhere near me that I could get to in a maneuver?
Yeah, you can get to the ship. You would need the second maneuver to kind of find a place where you can hide and maybe get a decent shot at. We'll put it that way. But you can get to the ship in a minute.
If I move to the ship, isn't that going to put me in a place where I'm not going to be able to get a shot on the same guy I was engaged with before?
No. So it's basically I want you guys to think about it as there was this a bush you guys approached behind. And then you guys all kind of were able to kind of peek around this little shrubbery. You saw the ship. It's facing you. These guys are walking between it and the cave that's behind it, right? So you're basically still by the shrub. You haven't moved yet. If you move forward, you're going to be by that ship. Everybody that you're attacking is still in front of you. You're still approaching them. You're
Right,
gonna
but
then be
I stepped in front of him. I stepped in front of it. Well, no, I stepped behind the guy. You're fine.
Yeah, so basically
I did
the
step behind
2
him.
that are remaining both have somebody engaged with them though. So there is going to be
There is a chance.
you could hit a friendly.
Seems like you're the kind that would take that risk.
I mean, you guys say friendly. I heard an awful lot of crosstalk about my starship. So
My chat is begging you guys to revive Griebach. They want to hear Griebach.
Griebach, Death Howls, and Rodian.
I see.
Totally
I
blame
revive. I would revive Griebach if I had any means of healing him. Unless
I know
could
that's
throw...
my core function,
Right.
but I'm really worried about what this guy was running to get in that cave. Because I think it's reinforcement.
I mean, literally all I have on me are my blasters, my clothing, and a deck of Sabbath cards. So unless I can throw the cards out like a deck of many things, I feel like it's not going to do much.
Call me Gambit, bitch.
It's okay. Everybody there was pressing shit everywhere. Everyone had to run to it. It's okay. Griebach will be back up soon.
Why do you guys feel bad for Griebach? Griebach's like, oh, cool, people to shoot.
Not even a word
Oh
about it.
my
Not
God.
even a word about it. Dude.
Can I
Ooh.
do a combat roll, dive towards Griebach, and then put my arms and use him as cover as I aim over top of him?
No.
No. That long pause.
No.
Valley.
Theaters of mine, my ass. All right, I run to the spaceship, and then I want to use my second maneuver to aim.
Okay. You get a blue. You're not affected by the lights going out because you were shielded pretty much from that entire ridiculousness by the shrub. Yeah, add a blue to your attack roll. Which one are you attacking? You are now short range to the one that is engaged with Doggo, and you are now honestly you're
Should
pretty
be-
much almost engaged range to that one. That one was very close to the ship. They were kind of walking in pairs. So the one that you killed, that guy was like a few steps away from the Doggo's next to. So you're engaged to one that has been punched, and you are short to one that's been disarmed.
The one that's been disarmed, that's the one that that our archaeologist is currently fighting.
Yes, that's Laura Crockett. Yes.
Motherfucking Tomb Raider over here.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm going to count on the fact that our bounty hunter is probably going to be able to hold his own in combat over the archaeologist who's got a knife in his hands. So I'm going to take a double weapons shot at the one fighting the archaeologist at short range.
Copy that. Do it.
So that's what, 1 purple difficulty for short range?
1 purple.
Please no disadvantage. Please no disadvantage.
Okay, so what's your damage?
It's 6 per weapon, and I don't have enough advantages to trigger the second one, so my primary weapon hits for 10 damage.
So let me tell you what your second weapon does. No, I'm just kidding. So 10 damage. As you kind of get to the ship and you come into like a nice little awesome baseball slide to get like behind a landing strut because you've already been fucking winged pretty goddamn hard. You just like your arm just comes to rest right up against that slut. It's perfect line, and you just fucking pull that trigger. And it's literally the second that you see Rainoff's knife take that gun out of his hand, and he just goes, ugh. The blaster shot just right through the fucking forehead, and he just neck goes back.
Nice.
He just kind of falls back. So that's 2 down. All right. So
Holy
we've got
shit,
one
snacks,
guy-
Batman. You're an all right pilot, but you are a hell of a shot. Damn.
Gunslinger, man.
I spin my blasters on my fingers.
Make a
and
coordination
then-
roll.
As he's wheezing.
Make a
pain.
coordination roll. 2 purple.
Oh God, if it shoots me, I'm gonna be so sad.
All right, he's able to successfully kind of spin both blasters and actually, do you want to holster them like at the end of it and be that guy?
There are bad guys still alive. I'm not putting my guns away. What the hell is wrong with you?
No, you should let him turn and aim at the next one.
Rainoff, as you kind of like rip that blaster out, you see this, you feel the heat of the shot. Doesn't get close enough to really singe you or anything or take any fur off, but you don't even see the impact. You feel the heat. All of a sudden, you see his head just snap back, and then he comes forward. You just see the little smoke trail.
Yeah.
And then as you kind of look over your shoulder,
I made
you
my
just see
quip.
this guy like doing like the Leia pose in front of Jabba the Hutt, just spinning a fucking blaster.
Oh my god.
What am I gonna do? I've got to give it to him.
Right?
I blow the smoke out the second barrel and then like haul myself up against the ship.
Okay, what is next?
Can I use my advantage to give a blue to the next person in line?
Absolutely, you can do that. You can absolutely do that. Who is the next person in line is the question.
The baddies.
We should.
And
Yeah, we should be.
Is
Griebach,
it?
then the
Okay,
baddies. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so the one that is engaged with Doggo, who got that haymaker and was kind of able to kind of get out of the way of the second shot, he's been kind of fucking around with his blaster the whole time. Just being like, fucking work, god damn it. It's the next round. It does work. Obviously, you're right up in his face there, Doggo, so he's just going to try and put that thing right in your chest and pull the trigger. Now, he is the only one still able to shoot, so we're going to give him, he doesn't get upgraded, and he has a black for the lights going out, and then he is engaged. So that's going to be the 1 purple. Let's see. So he hits you. He does 11 damage minus your soak.
My soak is what, 1?
I believe it is 1.
Yes, it is 1, so he does 10 damage.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy
Okay.
Yeah, they're not nice.
I wanted to get you guys some carbines.
Did I really try to
not gonna
melee
lie.
these guys?
The only
Yeah.
reason I gave these fuckers carbines is
fuck
I
am I
wanted my
thinking?
bounty hunters to have carbines.
I
I
gave
thought
all
you
the
guys
bad guys
wouldn't
all the
finish that.
monsters magic weapons. I don't know what went wrong.
What do you mean giving the first mission bad guys flaming swords didn't work out in the party's favor?
But they have purple swords. I'm
You have two
sad.
critically injured people. Oh my god.
Honestly,
Okay.
the attack rolls have been pretty fucking flawless too. The advantage he's going to spend.
Pay this site for good rolls. Let me see. Where's that package? It's gotta be here somewhere.
Microtransaction.
Yeah. Oh, the kill your party and day
I
one
think you have to
package.
actually send it
Hold on.
directly to your DM.
He's gonna recover. He's gonna recover the one hit point of damage you actually did to him. I think.
Jesus.
With his strain, just
He has-
because.
Leech life
he's-
also?
Huh?
So he has leech life also?
He's at least. No, but he's got nothing he can spend this advantage on. So I'm just gonna say he fucking basically is just like you haymaker him, and then he's like he misses your second attack, and he's like he hears the weapon kind of like click into gear, and he goes, huh? Looks up at you, pulls the trigger, and watches you just kind of crumple, and it just kind of empowers him, and he's like, yeah, what now, motherfucker? And he's good to go. He's like, bring it,
fired-
bitches.
He fired a carbine at him, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So a carbine's a ranged heavy weapon. Ranged
Yep.
heavy weapons at engaged different distances are supposed to be upgraded twice for difficulty checks.
Christ on a stick.
You
I'm
just
dead.
killed.
I'm dead.
Oh,
No,
no.
it's upgrade the difficulty of the shot. He's saying.
Yes. Yeah, it's
Oh.
supposed to be +2 difficulty for a ranged heavy at engaged range.
All right, so that's what a red and another.
Now,
I
if
guess that'd
you
just be a
are,
red.
so
It's
you're
just a red.
adding to difficulty. This is like an area that the book is not the best at explaining. It's +2 difficulty, which means you're adding 2 purple, not upgrade.
Not, yeah.
Fair enough. Okay.
Like it says
Sure.
upgrade twice, you would turn 2 purples to red if you have them, or add purples if you don't. If it says +2 difficulty, you're adding purples.
That's how I
Yeah.
interpreted it. as
Hey,
well.
that's fine. I don't mind. Do me a favor, link me that, or send me in like a DM.
Well,
where
like
that is
if you
supposed to be.
if you look all over the book, right, when you see how many like a skill check or something, it says
It's page
what the
220 here.
difficulty is. It shows that's like purple dice is difficulty die, and then the upgrade die.
No, I
is
just
supposed
want to see. I want to see the rule about ranged heavy weapons at engaged. I believe it. I just want to see.
Oh, see, now this guy
Um,
gets some disadvantages. He don't get no empowerment. He gets the
He still gets hit, but that's it. Like he gets hit, and basically his gun is jammed again. Like this is a shitty fucking gun.
So you
they
missed
got
the
carbines. They just don't work for shit.
Motherfucker, this one doesn't.
Do I see his gun
he's
jam?
Yeah, you guys can see him kind of look down again, like, God damn it! Like you got the doggy away from me. What am I going to do
Here
about the
we
wolf?
go again.
All right, who's next?
Actually,
Yeah, looks like you.
would I be able to move onto the ship and make a piloting check?
Not in the time it's going to take for the combat.
Okay, how far is the guy at the gate from where I am?
I want to say 3 range bands because he moved a total of 4. You have moved 2 range bands. You can get to him.
Okay, I'd like to do that.
Okay.
I'd like to get to him, and
All right.
I would like to. Could I? What kind of check would I need to do to hog tie him?
I'm going to say probably a brawl check. You have the rope. You're going to have to, I mean, he's not unconscious. He's not, he's prone. So we're going to give you an advantage on it, right? You're trying to get him and wrestle him to the ground and tie him up before he can get up. But he's undamaged other than like a winging shot from G Unit. That's your name. I'm so sorry. That's your name now. Like, I feel so bad that I can't like.
That's
I
it.
keep seeing
That's
my
it.
dice. G723. So
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
gonna run up to him. I'm gonna put my knee in his back and start trying to tie up his arms.
Okay, make a brawl check with a blue. 2 difficulty, 2 purple.
Okay.
Okay. You successfully pin him to the ground. You put your knee directly into his back. You are able to kind of like unlasso your rope from wherever you have it in your backpack quickly, like, and you're able to, like, you're singing a little fucking country ditty while you do it if you want. You also like him. He's resisting, so you do a little bit of actual damage to him. I'm considering this a brawl attack. Does that make sense? Like
No,
with
I'm fine with the success. I'd like to use my advantage to just pass a die along, a blue die.
Okay. Now, because it's 2, you can determine who gets it. It doesn't have to just be the next person.
Right.
It can also be your next check if you want.
Dice. Dice's next check.
Dice's next check. Copy.
Wait. Speaking is a free action, right?
Mm-hmm.
G Unit, are you? I got him. Are you going to go take care of them?
I'm going back to heal Griebach.
I will give it to her for a medical check.
Perfect. Okay. So G Unit, G723, you get a blue on your next check, whatever it may be in this encounter. Who is next? Like, Griebach's just been sitting there unconscious this whole time.
Good thing the blasters cauterize the wounds they make. Otherwise, he would have bled to death in like 45 minutes that he's been wounded on the ground.
So after Vrainoff, we have Teresa. You have gained access to the ship. The lights went out. What do you do?
Well, how far is that blaster carbine that was disarmed?
It is very close to your feet. Like literally, you step back in the ship. The lights went out, so I'm going to make it maybe a check to find it. But like you saw it very close by to the end of the ramp.
Okay. And how far is the one that shot Doggo from me?
He is engaged range to you. So he's very close. Like this fight has been happening pretty much over your right shoulder.
Jeez. Okay, I would like to try and pick up that carbine for one.
All right, make like a 1 purple perception check.
Okay.
Because the lights were on when you saw it kind of get disarmed.
Blinded by
Okay, so my perception is 1 green and 2 yellow.
Right. Yeah, I think you're gonna find it. Yeah. Okay, you find it and 3 other carbines. No, I'm just kidding.
Wouldn't that be great?
No, you're able to find it relatively quickly. We're gonna say you're able to find it, and we're gonna call that an incidental for this round. Okay, like that's like you're able to just immediately be like, oh, door's open, cool. Look down, there it is. We're gonna say if you would like to pick it up and then aim it at somebody, that's gonna be 2 maneuvers. So you'll suffer strain to do that, but to pick it up, that's you can do that for free.
Okay, so to aim it and shoot it is
suffer 2 more strain.
Okay.
But if it's a free maneuver, it wouldn't be 2 strain. It would just be movement, aim, then shoot, right?
I'm calling her like she didn't require. I'm not.
Oh, to look is not
to look for. Yeah.
Okay.
Because she succeeded with 2 advantages. That's just how I roll. Suffer 2 strain. You're aiming at the last one. You want to take your shot? Roll ranged heavy against 3 purple because it's engaged range.
Okay, so it's ranged heavy against 3 purple.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What's your ranged heavy?
My ranged heavy is 2 greens and 1 yellow. You said 3. How many purple?
3 purple. There might be an Arius in my chat, by the way. For Mr. Dice over there.
Ooh, spicy.
All right, so there's a rule with minions that if you crit, they instantly die. So this is what happens. We're not going to worry about the damage on this. Teresa, after having Jimmy'd open the door on the ship, the lights go out. she hears this blaster shot, and she hears, and I want you to make the sound if you don't mind doing it there, doggo, but she hears the whimper of an injured puppy.
Oh.
This enrages her
Yes.
to the point where her eyes, the pupils just get very small or dilate. Let's say dilate. And she looks down at this discarded blaster carbine, seeing it, picking it up, not caring about what happens to her after the fact. She raises it with one hand, points it at this thug that has caused this evil sound to come
sadly
from
do not
Doggo.
have my
It's
bot
just
up.
sadness. Pulls the trigger and his head explodes, coating Doggo in human brain matter.
Great.
Ooh, look, snacks.
He crumples to the ground, dropping his weapon. At this point, 3 of them lie dead on the ground. One of which has a blaster bolt through his forehead. One of which doesn't have a recognizable head. And I don't even remember about the first one. And one of them is hogtied over by the door. So that's the end of the encounter. That is the end of that combat. We have gone over our time by half an hour. I apologize for that. I didn't even realize that. We're going to end it there for this session, if everyone's okay with that.
All right.
Can I drag him back to the ship?
We're going to say, yeah, for the purposes of that, and we can have conversations over the next week about what happens next. But you're able to kind of, as a group, grab Griebach and grab this hostage that you now have, and you're able to kind of like take him back. Do you guys want to take him back to the patrol craft that's right here?
Oh,
You're not
yeah.
gonna take it back all the way over the mountain.
Oh
Okay.
no, I imagine we're gonna go right back into the next thing because there are people beyond the door. So like if I were to leave this off, I'd take him for questioning and then have one of our pilots literally sitting in the cockpit waiting to shoot anyone that comes out.
Yeah. Let's just figure out
And then we're on
Just think-
standby.
the
I
best
feel
thing.
bad being quiet
pause
the
right
last
here.
hour and a half, Griebach. But yeah, I promise people that we're gonna have a hard end time right at 9 Pacific, because I know it's what East Coast. We have East Coast players, and I don't want to go beyond that. So we're gonna end it there for tonight, and then we can all talk about this in the OSC campaign discussion on the Gilded. Is everyone good? Anyone last thoughts? Everyone have fun? I hope.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Badorska.
Perfect. Okay.
Or Griebach only got to do like half of the thing.
Everybody on
Later.
stream, thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to be back in 2 weeks with session 2. Yeah.
Sweet. All right.
All right. Thanks.
All right, stream. I am
you guys
going
later,
dudes.
stream. I'm going to be out. I will see you guys next time. That's the end of the show. All right. Goodbye.
So that was cool.